All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got riots in the streets, police shooting unarmed people again. Hillary, is she dead or not? I don't know, but we're going to find out because the Friday Night Super Show starts right now.
Rioting, the unbeatable high. Adrenaline shoots your nerves to the sky. Everyone knows this town is gonna blow, and it's all gonna blow right now.
Oh, yeah, babies. We are live right here on the Last Voice for Liberty Network. I'm the mouth laughing and scratching at you. I'm joined, as always, by my tag team partner, man, my brother from another mother, Mr. Friday Night himself, Dennis Ford, man. How's it going, brother?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. What's going on with you, brother?
Oh,
How was your trip there?
Oh, the trip to Colorado was great. You know, I had a great time. Lots of nice, calm peacefulness, if you know what I mean. Got really toked, really baked, and that was fun. Got to romp through the woods for a bit up there in the mountains, which was also fun as well. And then I was in the company of some pretty cool people too. So it was all in all a good time, man.
Yeah, not bad. You know, I didn't know if we were even having a show here tonight, because I guess Wednesday night, again, not to talk about me. You know, I hate to talk about myself here, but not to talk about me. But you know, I had like one of these things where I kind of blow up and just say the hell with Facebook and the hell with people and everything. So at this point, I'm trying to think and I'm trying to figure out if Facebook is good for me, because I really don't like people, and that's probably the place you don't want to go, because there's nothing but people on there. So I'm trying to debate. You know, I'm trying to weigh the goods and the bads, because, you know, it's I don't know. Wednesday night was not good for me. I went off on a few people, you know, not anything personal to anybody out there, but, you know, I'm just starting to weigh my options here on whether or not I even want to be on Facebook anymore, because to me, it's, you know, we've been doing this for years, man. I'm not on there posting what I ate for dinner or where I'm shopping. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, hey, look, he's at Arby's. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not on there for that.
No, and I don't blame you. The thing about Facebook, man, is if you're not arguing on Facebook, then you're probably just wasting your own time and everybody else's time, because arguing is about the only way that you can actually start to come to agreeances with people. I mean, look at me and Liberty Lisa. We argue about damn near everything. Literally, we're great friends. As a matter of fact, she's going to be in Urbandale here, working, coming up, I think within a week or so, and we're gonna get together. I'm gonna take her out to the bars and, you know, get her a tattoo and all that fun stuff. Liberty Lisa on the town with the mouth. It's gonna be epic. We're gonna take video of it.
Yeah, that sounds like a sitcom or something.
You know, talk about your odd couples. But no, we actually, that's the thing, though. We argue, you know, vehemently about our differences and things like that. But when we get together, we still have that understanding, man. We're still, hey, we're cool. We're both fighting the same fight. We just coming at it from different angles, and that's the whole goal of arguing with people on Facebook, at least to me, because any more than that, it's you're just basically sucking your own dick. And
well, that's the thing. I mean, you're right, but that's my thing is that I was talking to a friend earlier, and I was like, I don't know about Facebook. He was like, stop being a bitch and just leave. And I was like, it's not that simple, man. It's not like I'm bitching and complaining about it. I'm just letting people know. For me, I don't need to get on Facebook. My life would be fine without Facebook. Trust me. I get on there to troll with people and mess with pages sometimes, and sometimes I'm on there doing serious business. I'm really trying to get information out to people. Doing what I feel like everybody should be doing, but everybody's scared to do. Everybody talks about they're proud to be an American and all this other shit, and the best they can do is go out and vote for one of these fucking morons next month. So, I don't want to get into it here tonight, Lee, but I'm getting to the point where I just don't want to deal with people. Radio shows and having people enjoy your shows and all that is one aspect of it. But for me, I'm not in it for none of that. I'm not here for none of that. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to be, you're 20 years, we know each other for 20 years because we met on Facebook. I'm not here to do that. I don't know you.
Friend
I don't know
anniversary
these people throughout the country. That's maybe I'm old school. I have to really know a person to even be like, I can trust you. There's like a handful of people on Facebook I know I can trust with anything, and that's out of 1,200 friends. And I don't have time to go through all these friends and figure out who these people are. I really don't give a shit. And not to be mean, that's just the way it is. And I didn't want to start the show off with any kind of like negative overtones or anything like that, or even talking about Facebook or social media. But that's where we're going.
Oh yeah, and sometimes especially when it comes to Mr. Friday Night, ladies and gentlemen, I need to explain this. Dennis Ford is one of the most sought after and closely monitored people on Facebook. It's ridiculous. When Dennis Ford goes off, I know that I get at least 5-6 messages going, well, what happened to Dennis? Where'd he go? And I'm like, well, somebody obviously pissed him off, or he just decided, it's time to close this account for a little bit and walk away. I was like, if you don't know that Dennis does this every now and then, by now I don't know what your problem is, but and some people it's new, it's newer people, going, I notice you guys are friends, and I swear to God, some people think that you and I live in the same house. So
yeah, we're like roommates and shit. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? It's like you have to blow off steam every once in a while, because if I keep carrying this shit around, it's really gonna erupt. So I have to let this shit go in how I view things and how I feel about things. And when it comes to hip hop, this is another segue we can go on real quick. We can talk about this for about 5 minutes. When you're talking about hip hop, to me, growing up in the golden age of hip hop was a competitive sport. Regardless if they were both MCs were good friends, they still could have that battle and find out who was the best rapper. And we really don't have that kind of competition anymore. And in the mainstream, it doesn't even matter. But I'm talking about these underground artists. I want to find out who is the best in the underground, whether it's street music, whatever it is. I want to find out who's the best, because I'm interested in that. I want to find out who's the best pound for pound underground rapper. And I think I know who it is. But I'm not going to say nothing on the show here tonight. I'm not going to hurt nobody's feelings. So we can change subject, Lee, if you want. But, that's how I feel about it. And the same thing when it comes to these radio shows. Trip and Zach, they're probably going to call in here later tonight. But on the show Wednesday, I think, or one of their shows last week, they were talking about if we had the capacity to be, me and Lee Pierce sitting in the studio looking at each other every day, Sirius Radio, whatever it may be, you can bet your ass we're going to be number one every week. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee that to anybody out there listening right now. We just don't have the funding, and it's not our job, but it could be our job. And if it becomes our job, you better believe it's going to be a competition, because I'm out to be the best at what I do, and that's it. So, Lee, I don't know how you feel about it.
We wouldn't come on here and say,
if comes into it, I can tell people right now, you have to bring your A game to this.
Yeah, we wouldn't come on here and say that we're the tag team champions of talk radio for nothing. Because we actually, in our hearts, know that we are, and know that we bring something to the table that nobody else does. I mean, and
talking shit about it is not talking shit, because it's the truth. The
Yeah.
truth hurts. People don't like the truth.
It's
We all
better.
know this.
You know,
It's nothing new.
there's a thing called confidence and cockiness. And, you know, we like to straddle that fine line. Sometimes we go on overboard. That's the reality of human nature, okay? If you don't like it, I mean, you don't suck a bag of dicks. I got no
I
time
grew up
for
on
it.
wrestling too, Lee. And when I was growing up watching wrestling, you know, Ric Flair stood out to me because he told people he was the best and he proved it.
Mhm.
Even if he had to cheat to win. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm gonna win regardless. That's it. That's the bottom line. And like I said, when it comes to this, I enjoy the friendships and the people, the camaraderie and whatever it is. But all you have to do is talk about something that, you know, one person they look up to that you don't like, or you have something to say. But now they blocked you, and now the truth movement will never work because they agree that this person, you know, oh, this person does festivals. They must be the best activist there is. No. It's funny that the same people that a lot of these people support are actually working for the system that they claim that they're fighting. And that blows my mind. I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah,
You know, it's like, again, I'm not going to mention any names, but I know there are some other people in the movement, quote unquote. I like to call it the bowel movement because that's pretty much what it is. It's a bunch of shit and people talking and not doing anything.
it's kind of like that. I did another thing that happened in Colorado, and this is all I can say on it right now, is I found some information while I was out there, and yeah, once people hear this, when I'm cleared to release it, the things I saw in my own hands, and yeah, it's pretty mind blowing, especially when it comes to the whole truth movement. When it comes to the
wars, blah blah blah.
when it comes to the whole truth movement,
Jones, people are like, what do you mean?
all that stuff, dude.
He's been at it for 18, 20 years. What have you been doing, buddy? Well, guess what I've been doing? Better than he's been doing in the last 4 or 5 years I've been doing it.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You know?
And we've done just about as many shows, you know?
If I plan to stick around in this shit for 20 years, the only reason he's around in it for 20 years is because it's his job. That's basic income, is to manipulate people on a daily basis, just like your television does. He's an actor. That's it. The same people that call me an actor or a shill. You got to be out of your mind to even come up with, where do you come up with a concept like that? If anything, even if they had an opportunity to approach me and be like, hey, let's get Dennis aboard, you know, he's pretty good at what he does, they're really going to have to think about that. Because they don't know if they can trust me. I might get in there, infiltrate, and do some Snowden shit, you know? I'm not working for the government. If anything, I can't stand the government. And I shouldn't even have to tell people that. Anybody that's known me for the last 4 or 5 years, you know, again, I'm not an anarchist. I'm not any of that. Don't put a label on me. I hate labels. I don't give a shit what you are. You know, that's fine. But, you know, I'm a whole different, I'm on my own highway cruising, and there's nobody around me. Except maybe Lee Pierre or a few other people. But I made my own lane. And that's what people need to do in this. Stop following everybody else, trying to be like this person, whatever. It's nice to read their books and all that stuff, but just get the information and keep moving. Be the best you can. You know, bring the best that you can to this. If you can't do that, then don't be in it. Don't get on here, you know, because you want likes and shit on Facebook and be popular. That's the complete opposite reason that you should be getting into any activism, you know. So.
Well, that's the only reason to get into the activism, is to make sure that you're doing something positive. And let me tell you what, when you're out there rioting, and once again, Dennis, we've had to say this a million fucking times before.
People look at rioting and stealing Jordans and bottles and shit as a way to protest the police. Like, who told these people that shit? That's not what you do. And if you want to do that, go to the police station. Stop wasting people's time, man. Stop being stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's what people need to do. You know, people claim all day that they're smart and intelligent. Well, act like it. Stop acting like fucking babies and children, man. Grow up. Oh, the cop shot somebody. I need some new Jordans and a flat screen TV. Let's go riot Walmart. That's fucking stupid, man. You can't get any stupider.
Yep, it really is. It makes no sense. And there's one thing that I can, you know, because I have to check out mainstream media in the morning. You know, number one, to see what the hell they're doing, and number two, for the weather, because, you know, I work outside a lot. And
yeah, just
one thing.
I gotta cool down. You gotta give me a minute to cool down.
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead. But you know, that morning after the initial riot started there in Charlotte, they were showing a lot of people, you know, black people. Let's put it out there, right, ladies and gentlemen. we're out there saying, these people didn't do anything to us. These businesses aren't the ones that did this to us. Why are people out there smashing their windows and everything and breaking their stuff? It turns out to be ridiculous, and then you get the resulting, there's a curfew now. You children have to be in your houses by 10 o'clock or midnight or whatever the fuck it is out there now. And this is the thing that these people are about. It looks like we got a caller joining us on here. That's Brandon Council going to be joining us here in just a couple seconds. Dennis, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, because I just had a quick point because this segues into one of my other favorite topics, not just Chicago, but the wonderful cities throughout this country. Again, there's nobody in these communities, organizing, not even organizing, but just getting the proper information to these people. And it's not, I can't put my finger on it whose fault it is, but I can guarantee it's probably big government, the ones shipping in the guns and the drugs and the shitty hip hop and all that shit coming into the city. They're just getting what they want. They're getting molded images of what this shit does to people. It just destroys people. The gang mentality, all that shit is just stupid, man. Stop trying to be, everybody wants to be Scarface until that gun's in their face, Everybody's hard until something's in your face, and now you want to change the story. Mm-hmm. So if you're not serious about the life, don't live it, because if you get into that lifestyle, it's going to, where you're going to be dead or you're going to end up with felonies or you're going to be in prison for the majority of your life because you were stupid.
No, I want to point it out, that peaceful protesting is one thing, and it's something that everybody should be able to do, but it doesn't really work in yours. No, it doesn't, and I can understand where some of these people, that might take part in some of the rioting and the looting and the damage, all that crap. They may not be the ones that initially started, but they're like, well, fuck it, I'm going to grab me something, while shit's going on. But I can almost think that, see where that's coming from, because they're like, well, what are we going to do? But their anger and their intentions are completely misdirected, and they need to be pointed at the people who are actually doing this. If a cop shoots an unarmed man in the street, and you guys go out to protest and get mad about it, how about do something, against the cops or the police station or the state that's allowing this, because if you start beating up on the businesses, do you think the businesses are going to the state's going to give them money to fix it? No. The businesses file a claim with the insurance company. The insurance company, most of you who have insurance are part of the insurance system. Your premium rates get to have to go up so these people can recoup the expenses from damages. That's not an act of God, This is something that they get to claim against you.
Think about this. Now, this is to all the people out there that are frustrated that a cop murdered somebody. Unarmed black male, African American again. Now, this continues to happen. Now, anybody that's out there that's mad about that, I understand that. And we're not talking about Chicago, but in this situation, this is a good point to bring up, because in 1 month, probably 42 now, young black males have been murdered in Chicago. And, the murderers are getting away with murder because the cops are scared to come in the city and investigate and do all they got to do. And even if they catch the murderer, it's just a revolving, it just continues to happen. Now, 41 young black African-American males died in Chicago this month of September, and it's only September. It's not even over yet. But they're worried about this one black guy that got shot by a cop that's on film that they can point at and say, that pisses me off. But see, they don't see the shit in Chicago, so it doesn't affect them. But I want people to think about that. Next time you're worried about Black Lives Matter, think about the 42 black lives that you didn't give a shit about in Chicago and all the other major cities throughout this beautiful country of ours, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that shit next time you get mad about something.
That's for
Somebody
sure.
dying.
It sounds like
the whole animal thing too. I don't want to get off on this, but the whole animal thing. People kill animals. People kill animals. Well, people are getting killed like animals in Chicago right now as I'm talking to you. So what are you talking about? What are you saying? It just frustrates me.
Brandon, do we have you?
Go ahead.
Do we have Brandon Council? Maybe no. Looks like that one went.
I hope so. I hope Brandon can join us because he can shed some light on some of this shit.
He's going to try and call in here on a different number, so we're hoping Brandon Council are going to be joining us. Looks like Trip Pugh and Zach going to be joining us as well, I think, this evening. So we've got an action-packed show. But we're talking about these riots.
Yeah, this is the anger 20 minutes of the show where we can be angry before we have a good show here tonight.
We've got to get this shit off our chest, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm fed up. I'm sick of telling people. That's another thing. You tell somebody that may be rioting or something, hey, man, come over here, I want to tell you something. And you know about Chicago. Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that many people were getting killed. I didn't know. The reason you don't know is because you watch TV too damn much.
Mm-hmm.
That's your problem. And I had somebody the other day, when I posted about this, oh, we're not talking about Chicago. That's your problem. That's a big problem. You're not talking about Chicago. That's a major, huge problem.
That is why you fail, Ladies and gentlemen,
if you're not talking you're going to be like, oh, I should have listened to what he was saying. When they're knocking on your door. Yep.
And because that's coming, that's what they've got. They've had troops in Boston, on the streets in Boston, troops in New York, troops in Charlotte now, troops probably hitting the ground in Tulsa if it weren't for the fact that police officer happened to get actually arrested and charged. I mean, $50,000 bail, which is an insult, to be quite honest. If it had been you or me that shot that man for no reason, then, it'd be at least a cool $1 million for us to be bonded out of jail at that minute.
Well,
Mama and Papa be putting up the damn house, what I'm saying?
Let's do this. Let's all collectively come together as United States citizens and decide that from now on, cops have to carry knives. And every time they interact with somebody, they have to fight like the Thriller video, or the Beat It video, whatever that was. They spin around and have the knife fights and shit. Because they're not capable of carrying around guns, apparently. For some reason, they like shooting dogs and black people. So we need to get rid of the guns. That's our biggest problem, right? Let's get some gun control. That always helps, especially when it comes to cops. But, yeah, just give them knives or, a samurai sword or something. That should solve everything.
Apparently, you need to do something. I mean, we've got too many cases of police just shooting people down out of nowhere, and they're like, "Well, I feared for my life." Was that's their big excuse, or basically like Donald Trump, and I hate to even bring it up, but he pointed it out. He's like, I don't know if she like choked or what. It's just ridiculous. Looks like we've got Trip Pugh joining us. Trip.
Word to your mothers.
What's going on there?
I didn't know if we were going to be able to get you in, Trip. You know how this show works sometimes. We have technical difficulties. But welcome. Did you? Not tonight, but welcome to the show. I'm just saying in the past, it's hard to say, but this
Do we have Brandon Council too?
That's a good word, gentlemen.
Not much. I don't know if you've been listening, but I was kind of like a loose cannon here for the last 15 minutes or whatever this has been. Because the whole reason behind the trip, the whole reason behind what you were talking about on your show recently, where you were saying, if this was a real situation where we were doing radio, not for competition, but just to prove something, you know what I'm saying? We'd be pretty high up there. Not necessarily the Friday Night Super Show, but I know post politics would. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a force to be reckoned with, and I know that for a fact. But we don't have that financial backing. But if we did, it'd be a different story.
Well, the exposure is the other thing, and sadly enough, there's so many different people doing the same type of thing that we're doing, just not,
not as well.
The quality of the quality of a handful of those other shows are just garbage.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You guys didn't even get into it, but you were going to kind of like roast some other shows, and I wanted to do that at some point in time too, but again, you don't want to say some shit and people are like, oh, I'm going to block Trip because he said some shit about so-and-so, and now we can't be friends.
Well, the other thing is that not only that, but if you really think that or don't think that, when we do these shows, here's my brilliance, and what a lot of people won't get at the end of the day is, even though we'll roast the hell out of these shows, that they will get exposure on our platform where they wouldn't normally be getting that kind of exposure either, So it's it's a win-win even if we roast you, So or whoever. But yeah, we're gonna start Jocktober. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday I think will be our first Jocktober, and we're gonna take stuff, other podcasts, and and shows from the Liberty community and roast the shit out of them, basically.
That sounds like the best idea. Why didn't we come up with that?
You know,
damn it.
that's an awesome idea.
It's not my bit. Like, it just has.
I understand that, but that's a genius idea.
But I was like, look, I'm not gonna do this for morning shows or whatever. I'm gonna do it in our wheelhouse. You know, I'm going to do it for the Liberty community, and anybody that's doing shit based on what we do, then prepare to get roasted, because Dennis says it best. You can't do what I do, you know?
That's right. That's right. I mean, it takes a certain level. It's not ego or anything. It just takes a certain level for us to even get on the radio and do what we do. So we're good at it. Yeah. You know, I can't speak for everybody. You know, not everybody, like you said, not everybody in the community or whatever movement, whatever, you know, we're not all the same.
I'm really, and this might sound horrible, but like, I'm going after, especially, and not every week, but I'm telling you, you women out there that think that just because you got pussies or whatever, have a hot looking body or whatever, and that you think that you can just get on the radio and do nothing and say nothing, I'm totally aiming at that, and I'm totally trying to not be misogynistic about this. But
yeah,
yes, you are.
I'm really tired of the numbers of the women that say nothing and have nothing to say and can't get their stuff together and wouldn't know how to run a radio show if their lives depended on it. However, they got more listeners than my show and y'all's show combined. Because they're hot chicks. How's that for equality, motherfuckers? What about
they got big shit? Yeah.
So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm not pointing everybody out, and it's not just like this woman bashing thing. I mean, we're going to go after everybody.
No, that's a valid point, though, because, sure, real quick, if you look at Facebook, there's certain pages that are good. There's good quality content to them. But then there's, like, other pages where it's, like, anarchy something, blah, 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 and then it's just a girl taking pictures of herself and throwing stuff in it, and it's got, like, 8,000 likes, and it's like, oh, you're so beautiful. You know, that's just, like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Maybe it's the sex appeal that people can identify with, but...
And, you know, the other thing is, like, I'm going after basement-dwelling fucktards that give these people the time of day, too. It's like, right. People like us, you know, we don't need those people. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think that the content that we put out is much greater than that kind of shit, but I don't know, man. I didn't... You kind of blindsided me with that. I didn't want to go off on a tirade about that.
Yeah, I understand. But the only thing... we'll segue in something else here, but the only thing I'll say about that is that, you know, again, hopefully people won't take something like that personal. You know, maybe like they will, maybe they won't.
That's why it's a roast.
For them, it's a win-win. I mean, it's a win all the way around. Because, A, we get to definitely put on a good show and blast some people, which will no doubtedly be funny as hell. And B, they get their show showcased by another show for somebody that might not even be hip to them. And B, if they really do suck that bad, hopefully they can take our criticisms and laugh it off and hopefully take some changes to make a better show for themselves too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a win-win all the way around. Good idea. So I'll be looking forward to that.
Jocktober is coming up. Y'all better get ready.
Well, you know, here's something else: is people should be feel a little bit of honor, and and even being recognized by another show to be roasted. So I'm looking forward to what you're going to say about us. So
I'm probably not going to be doing my friends. I've got friends. People that I do their shows and guest segments and stuff like that, and I'm not, because usually if I give a show the time of day, it's something that I consider to be a quality broadcast to begin with anyway. So
yeah, exactly. That was going to be one of my questions too. Was like maybe somewhere in there, maybe the Friday night super show or something like that. But maybe down the road we can work on something like that. Maybe we can get all four of us on a show together and we can just talk shit for 2 hours or something.
Yeah, we might. Let's count on trying to end Jocktober, like whatever my show or the Friday Night Super Show, whichever one is the last one of the month, we might just get together and just have a ball with that. But we'll talk off air about that.
Yeah. Other than that, man, what do you think about these headlines lately? You know, the riots and shit. What's on your mind?
Man, you know, I shared something earlier today that was saying that, like, officials were talking about pulling, if anybody's caught looting or rioting, they're pulling food stamps and welfare from them for life. And that was out of, like, the main Baltimore newspaper there. And I just laughed my ass off, dude. I thought that was the funniest fucking thing ever. And they should. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I ain't for them programs to begin with, you know. If you're fucking looting and rioting, you might as well be out there trying to get your job on anyway. So, you know, say what you will. I think it's hilarious.
Well, it is. And the reports that are coming out of the Charlotte Police Department are that a majority of the people that they have been arresting for rioting and looting down there
not even from that state.
Not even from there, you know. So
imagine that.
Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. So people are busing in as agitators to riot and loot. The people there, not so much.
It's like, motherfucker, you got to go back to wherever the hell you're from. Like, we have to rebuild our community. And honestly, like, I mean, I'm not trying to make this all racial or whatever, but, like, you know, the blacks in that community should be calling that shit out, going like, you know, we have to rebuild our community. This is our neighborhoods. What kind of ignorance does it take to say we're going to destroy our own communities doing this? You know,
exactly. And that's something I pointed out at the beginning of the show trip was, you know, watching the mainstream media, and the first morning after, that was the majority of the clips that they were playing was people going, these businesses didn't do anything to us. Why are people breaking them and smashing them up? And there was multiple people in multiple clips, man.
At the end of the day, people are pussies. Mm-hmm. So instead of, like, if you're going to take the initiative to riot and loot and all that shit, guess what? You could have way more people than they can have down at each police precinct or government buildings or whatever it's going to be. But if that's who you're angry at, that's who you should be directing your attention towards.
There you go.
Trip gets it.
You know, I mean, privately I can advocate whatever I want, but publicly on this show and my show, I'll say, well, you probably should be down there airing your grievances out, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
In whichever form airing your grievances takes.
It is true, though. It is true, though, because, like, when some shit like this happens, it like, just triggers in their mind. They're like, I can get free shit. But if you focus that energy, you could actually get some shit done. So that's the truth. Focus your energy on the people you're mad at, not at Walmart and getting free shit, is my point.
Well, not only that.
Or the liquor store.
Not only that, but I mean, I know you guys have probably seen some of these videos that have come out where it's like, you know, it's like 10-on-1, just some random white guy walking back to his car from somewhere. You know, it's like, well, guess what? That's fucking racism. And if you think like, don't get me wrong. Like, if 10, I mean, I'm a concealed carry dude, so it's like that won't
that's not gonna happen to me.
Yeah, that won't be an issue, hopefully. But not only that, but it's also like they're attacking somebody because of their skin color. Not only A, is that racist, but B, you have no idea the political beliefs of some of these people too. So it's like you're gonna swell up on a white dude. Like if you swell up on me, it's like, dude, I hate the fucking cops too. But if I see 10 of y'all, like, sorry, you don't have bullet holes in your forehead, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not playing. Like, that's another thing. It's like people filming shit like that. I'm sure that was blown up on World Star Hip Hop or some stupid website where people are like, oh, this is funny. Oh, the shit ain't funny, man. And that we all know we all know the big scheme, the big scam and everything that's going on. They want that tension between the races, and these people just feed into it. It's okay when black people do it, but as soon as a white person does it, oh, Lordy, here comes Al Sharpton. Oh, Lord.
I really didn't want to turn the shit all
I know.
You know.
It is racist, though. It is racist.
That's so totally racist.
It is. I didn't want to turn it on the race tip, but what I am saying is that
they turned it on
came
race
to a
too.
place. We finally came to a place in America where race relations were at their all-time high, and then for some odd reason, government and mainstream media is that somehow everything became back to that, because you can't fucking unite when people are dead set on selling you divide and conquer. It's just the way she
every
goes.
day, 24 hours a day, and even in their hip hop music, even in their popular, in that hip hop music they love so much. This is another thing. I just want to point this out real quick, just a quick point, because this happened on Facebook the other day. To me, I love it when these black people, these African American dudes, come out of nowhere and haven't commented on anything I've done in 3 years, but they come out of nowhere and now they're all of a sudden they're Malcolm X, right? But the other day they were posting all this shitty mainstream hip hop that just glorifies death and, you know, stepping on your brothers and shit. But now you're Malcolm X because a cop shot a black dude. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh, you got white privilege. You don't understand. I'm like, no, I do understand. You don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then again,
You're the problem.
Here's where I've become very statistical, just to make sure that everything that I say doesn't come off as, I mean, I know that you guys and a handful of other people get what I'm doing, but not everybody does, of course. But just to construe that is not overtly racist, but to go statistics also don't lie. Last year, almost twice as many white people were shot by cops as black people. So what? Where does that look? But that's not what you see on the news. But I see that.
Yeah, there was a white dude that got shot a few days ago. He got shot a few days ago and nobody cared. You know?
Right. Dennis, how many times have I brought up about, retarded people or autistic kids or, all of these other, we got a cop problem, man. We don't have a racist cop problem. And until anybody's willing to have that conversation, I'm not willing to talk to you in depth about it. You have to be open to the fact that there's not a race attached to the over militarized police state that we have, and that they get money off of you being in jail and you having cracked skulls, and they are hiring people that are sociopaths. That's the facts. I'm sorry to burst anybody's bubble out there, but it ain't got nothing to do with the color,
especially all of you copsuckers out there,
or anything else.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. People aren't looking at what the root of the fucking problem is, man. And it's not, racist cops or idiot cops being hired on. It's the enforcement of these stupid acts and statutes to garner revenue generation for the state. I mean, 9 times out of 10, if a cop is pulling somebody over, it's because I'm going to give you a ticket because you owe the state money because your goddamn license plate light isn't on, or some other stupid, trivial thing that absolutely puts no one in danger, nothing whatsoever at all, period. And they continuously put and not to mention the war on drugs, put these people in positions of quote unquote authority. It's like, I can do whatever I want because I've got a badge, number one. Number two, you are a suspect no matter what. Regardless of whatever you've done, you could be a minivan mom, soccer, stickers on the back with your stick figure family and all that crap.
Or granny, or whoever.
Or a granny, whatever. The world's number one grandma on your state license plate. If you don't have the right color gang tag on that license plate, granny, I don't care who you are. Your license plate can say "cop sucker" right there on your fucking license plate. If you don't have that right color tag and one of the old PD boys sees it, guess what? You're coughing up at least $300.
Give me money, bitch, and if you don't comply, it's your fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on, nobody wants to have the issue of, just a springboard off of that, that's a major issue that nobody wants to talk about. And it's you want to talk about the revenue generation and the will for police to have to meet quotas, and and nobody wants to talk about laws on the books.
It's because they're all bankrupt.
The rules. And it's like, motherfucker, nobody wants to say the redcoats, the Nazis, all these people just following orders and whatever's law at the time. Like nobody wants to have these conversations. Nobody wants to say like, well, why should? Okay, my taillight's out, so I owe you money. Like I don't really get. Like,
why aren't we acknowledging the 800-pound fucking elephant in the room? I mean,
nobody acknowledges it. Nobody wants to have that conversation of like, okay, I got a taillight out, or I swerved into a lane because something was in the road, but now I get careless operation and 4 points off my license. No, and I owe you money because of that.
Yeah.
Now nobody
points
wants to have
off your license. What is this? A video game?
Nobody.
Do you take some hit point? Is this Legend of Zelda? Dungeons and fucking Dragons, man? Do you get hit point? If you have like hit points off your license, does that like take away from your dexterity and shit?
Dude, I'm only down to one heart.
Can you cast a spell? I got that resurrection spell in the caves of Lothlorien next to Meerkat Manor.
What I need, dude. It's time to make a pit stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, nobody wants to have these very logical conversations. And I'm telling you, I suggest for you guys and the listeners of the show, I'm telling you, whenever somebody starts to bring this stuff up, make it so elementary to these people. Bring it down. Don't, you can't just blast off into what we believe in because they'll never hear it and they'll shut it right down. But ask them questions. Hey, are you able to have a right that I don't have? Well, no. Well, how about Joe Bob up the street? Can he give a right that I don't have? Well, no. Well, how many people does it take to say that, like, well, these people have rights that I don't have, and I'm treated differently than that? How many people have to agree with that before that becomes mainstay? And it's like, does that make any sense to you? No. And then say, well, that's what the police and the government are. At the end of the day, it's unarguable. It's unarguable. You cannot argue against that and sound like an intelligent human being.
That's right. You sound like a damn idiot if you try to argue against it. You really do.
But
and people, I want you to understand, this is where a lot of our frustration comes from, because we want to keep spreading the message of freedom and liberty and what's really going on around here, but we get so many of you that are still hopelessly indoctrinated into this system and think it's the end-all, be-all, and life would just cease as we know it and end all existence. Fire, brimstone would rain from the sky if we did not have government in our lives and police.
But that's what I'm saying, dude. You really have to lift up your shirt and make these people suck off the fucking teat of freedom.
You do.
Throughout your fucking
literally.
body.
You do.
Literally.
Massage that nipple. Lactate that shit out to people. And then that's horrible because these motherfuckers got teeth. They bite.
Well, yeah, that too. Because if they want any more, I mean, you're going to have to go prison style on it and unbutton the fly and they can suck that as well.
And before that, you're getting your teeth knocked out. That's for damn sure. We're going full on Rue McClanahan, dude. I'm talking.
Hold on, Lee. Hold on a second here. I thought I heard something.
Yeah.
Listen, you smell
Gotta
something?
know something, Lee Beer. You gotta suck off the teat of freedom, yeah, because the cream rises to the top.
If you're not sucking off this tea, cup of coffee, yeah.
You're gonna find out at SummerSlam, yeah. But, did y'all see that? I also wanted to call in because did you guys see that Jesse Ventura saluting Colin Kaepernick for the whole city? He's like, that's why me and my friends fought for freedom, so you have the right to stand or sit during the national anthem.
Well, that's what they believed. Yeah, it really was. The boys that came back, that's what they believe, and a lot of them, they still believe it, and I can't fault them for that,
I think that's exactly what Jesse said.
To this day, my younger sister still believes that a dish could run away with a spoon.
That's crazy.
I
didn't see that. But, again, like I said, throughout the week, I mean, you're just running through so much shit anyways, going through everything you can. I mean, Things get buried sometimes. But yeah, I did. I remember seeing
And that whole thing, it just amazes me. The amount of hatred that I saw coming out towards this kid, protesting just by taking a knee.
Like I said, Lee,
it's not like he came out and he was like, white people, motherfuckers, he come out and he's like, cops are killing people. It's wrong. We should fix it. And then everybody's like, let me jump this motherfucker shit. You see that poofy hair? I'm sure he got an afro pick in his back pocket. Let's say all the nasty, derogatory, racist crap that we possibly can towards this young man because he wants to take a knee during our precious song. Oh, by the way, did you get that 40-millimeter grenade launcher for me? Because, I got to arm up in case the government comes after me.
Right, but this is what I was saying. If you look at all the players, right, if you go down, last 20 years or so, just look at some of the crimes some of these NFL players have been convicted for, or paid off, or whatever they've done. Like I said, the dude from the Ravens punched his wife or something in the elevator. It was on film, and people were
she probably had it coming. Just saying.
Well,
I'm just saying.
And I covered this. We covered this on Wednesday night. I came across an ESPN. The tagline was something like when sports news tells you more than the mainstream media will. And it was basically going into things that we've known for years now, of course. Like, he went into every dollar the National Guard and the U.S. military has given the NFL, and he says prior to 2009, guess what? The players were never on the field during the national anthem. They came out afterwards, which I remember going to sports shit as a kid.
Except for in basketball. In basketball, they were always out there, I remember.
Here's just another thing where people really need to know history. These motherfuckers act like, I'm serious, if anything happened beyond like 2 or 3 years ago, people have no recollection of it whatsoever. And am I lying?
No, you're absolutely right. People's memory spans can be measured in nanoseconds. Nanoseconds.
Attention spans.
I've been spouting this history shit since I got involved with anything liberty-minded. I'm telling you, I got involved as much as I did because I'm a self-proclaimed historian in that nature. I swear to God, like, I know shit about history that, long before I started reading up on freedom initiatives and things like that. I would just always like history a lot. And people like to act like that shit just never existed and they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, or that was so long ago, or, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, I think it kind of matters. It matters now more than it ever did before.
Totally.
Well, that's why we're not learning. We're not learning because we're not learning from history. I mean, that's why we're not seeing what we want to see, because we don't learn from our mistakes. We just keep doing the same shit over and over again. And then, like you said, when you talk to people about history, they're like, what? I don't remember that. And how many times has government been caught red-handed throughout history? I mean, that's 5 pages deep, at least.
Easily. If you don't believe us, start looking back through history. This is what I always implore people. They sit there and go, Lee, you're an anarchist. You don't believe in government, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know why? Because I've been learning about them. I've been studying law. I studied the Constitution. I studied all that crap. Because I want it, and when people ask me, why I listen to talk radio and all that, I sit there and look and turn at them and I go, you know thy enemy. This is why I listen to mainstream media and listen to mainstream talk radio during the day and stuff, because I want to know what the fuck they're trying to plan. I want to know what they're putting out there, because everything they put out there has something hidden behind it.
It's anything you're interested in. If your big thing is video games, you're going to study video games. But for me, I like to study a variety of things. History is a big one for me. I love to study history. And Brandon Council, too, just going back and looking. Even when people hear the word like the Illuminati and shit, they don't even know what that is because they didn't go back and look and research, find out that was a secret society at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just listening to the media. And that's another thing. We get false definitions, so you have to go research everything. We get them every day.
I got to leave you guys on this. I got a TV date with the old lady because we just got the kids to bed. So
by all means.
Here's the other thing.
You're gonna watch Charmed, aren't you?
Right,
I knew it.
Right when conspiracy culture hit the pinnacle of actual truth, it wasn't just, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, but it's like you can throw out those truths, those undeniable truths. Like, here, look, this is self-admitted. We've got unclassified papers on this. I have the documents to prove it, and all that shit. But with some of that shit, you do. You know what I mean? Some of that shit is undeniable and absolute proof. But what do? They say, it takes too long for me to read anything. You're a conspiracy theorist, and anything that you say is negated from this point on, pretty much. And right when we started to hit the pinnacle of all that, everything that had anything to do with history or way back when, that is undeniable, unclassified, right there in your face, people said, we don't want to look at it. We're just going to believe whatever's being talked about at the time. And have these bullshit arguments, dude. I listen to talk radio that I don't even like to listen to. Like the shit that people have on at work. Like the people that like at work that they have on. And I'm like, this pisses me off so much that nobody is having the real conversations that shows like mine and y'all.
Well, we're going to send it over to Cindy with the weather.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's having the right conversation. Everybody, it's not even news. It's like, here's what happened. We don't even know it to be absolute truth, but hey, let's hop on this bandwagon or that bandwagon, and that's the way we're going to ride.
You know, some of them do. I'm finding there's a guy.
Goes, they can't ever go, especially being on an FM or AM station. Or,
you can't cuss or nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, regardless of that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying that's a good point, though. You get fined $500 for saying that word.
That's $12,000, brother. $12,000 fine.
Yeah, $12,000. There you go.
There's nobody willing to have the full board conversation and jump in balls deep into this shit, though. You know, it's always like a roundabout.
It seems like doesn't it seem like to you like they're dipping their toes in it, though? I mean, I got a guy around here that actually kind of hits on a lot of what we talk about, and he's on the only AM radio talk station because Clear Channel shut down the other one that was on FM that I really liked and listened to a lot.
Well, guys, here's the point though. Here's the point with that is that they go, okay, we're gonna dip our toes in the water. Oh, let's open the phones up and then let people spout their bullshit without having to call them out for what it really is and what they really believe, which is the conversations that we're having, which you could shut down in a nanosecond if you wanted to. But what do? They let people, they open up phone lines and let people spout the same old mainstream media bullshit. They're fucking over their airway.
They cut me off and don't let me on.
Yeah, now think about all the shows that are doing that. I mean, you're talking about thousands upon thousands of people that do that every single day. And we're not doing that.
And thousands of people that listen to those talk shows.
To listen to it. Millions.
In every metropolitan area throughout the fucking country.
Did you hear what so-and-so said yesterday on their show? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The one thing that a lot of these places are doing now, a lot of these mainstream ones are doing now is setting up a text line. And they do it here with this one show that we have here.
Live on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Tweet hashtag NBC in the morning.
You can actually text him and he'll read your text on the air. I mean, as long as it's not full of fucks and shits and all that stuff.
Next week. Anybody listening to the show, you text something on.
Because we do it to him all the time. Ogre he used to get mad at me back in the day because we worked together all the time and mainstream FM radio I can't listen to. Just can't. So we listen to AM talk radio a lot.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than that guy sitting in the old, he plays like DC 101, like 90s rock mixed with new shit. Late at night, he's sitting around by himself. He's like,
we've got the newest rock online, ladies and gentlemen. And now here's Offspring from 1994. What? And wait a minute, thank you for not playing the newest rock online because it fucking sucks. But
Honestly,
and then you go to the classic rock stations.
That new Corey, what's his name song? Like that shit.
Corey Feldman. Oh, that fucking kid. Jesus Christ. Hi, I'm Corey Feldman. I'm 43. I was in the Goonies.
And I'll leave
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
on that. For real, anybody with half a dick and half a brain can do it. You know, hey, you're listening to DC 101. It's Trip Nasty coming to you live and direct. We're gonna get to that new Corey Feldman, and meanwhile the Corey Feldman bed is playing in the background, and we got to hit the post before the lyrics kick in.
Yep. Got to get that cut off.
By the way, we got those 2 tickets coming up for
2 tickets to
Metallica
Disturbed coming up next week at the Civic Center.
Right.
Man, you
Coming
people
live next
got
week.
to get in on this.
Be the ninth caller. You're listening to DC 101 live and direct. It's Trip Nasty, bitch.
You know?
And guess what? Why do those guys make more money than I do? I have no fucking idea.
Oh, because they went to school.
But whatever. You know what I'm saying? Though?
They went to
But
school.
anyway,
Somebody
they
was
got
like,
connections
"This
that we
is
don't
a
have."
mixer board. Make sure that
Yeah.
you're entertaining." And believe me, and some of these people, you know, I've heard them. You know, they get these interns
Sure.
in. Now, you know, these kids that are there, and it's their first time on radio or what have you, and they don't get the levels right. They've got like this deadpan Jason Priestley type fucking voice to them, and it's like really, if you're getting out there, man, be somebody. Get somebody to want to go. You know, I want to turn to this motherfucker because guess what? He kind of talks like I want to hear. You know, you've got to get people to garner it. They've been learning this since the 50s, man, and it all just comes from, you know, yourself. It has nothing to do with schooling or all that crap, but if you've got that little piece of paper, then all of a sudden people want to pay you more money for garbage. You know, you could sit there and just do the old boss man Bob Cormier, you know. Hey, from the Racks and Stacks, the best on wax, there's no double golden only twin spin sound sandwich from KLAM in Portland. It's Boss. Come on, babies.
fuck that, dude. I could be old as shit. I'll be doing that shit when I'm fucking, you know. Hey, it's Trip. You're listening to the Oldies Goldies station. This one goes out to the class of '84, and if you're turning 84 today, this one goes out to you. It's Metallica's Creeping Death.
We've got Huey Lewis in the news and Flock of Seagulls coming up next hour. Be the 9th caller to get your next geriatric appointment for free. Yeah, it's outstanding the way that we could, and this is something that we could have possibly done.
Show. That's all
And-
we need.
and-
We just
and-
need a studio where we can all do our thing.
I've got a
Just have
studio
our own
here.
show.
Y'all motherfuckers just need to get here. Okay.
Like, fine, leave here.
Hey, much love, guys, man. I got a jam.
All right,
That's for
so
sure.
thank you,
We
man.
do. We
Much
do have
love.
to get up in the break, ladies and gentlemen. Trip, before you get out of here, man, pimp the show.
Post Politics Sunday and Wednesday. I had to move I don't care if anybody else cares about this or not, but one of my favorite bands that I've been a lifelong fan of, Driving and Crying. I have a chance and an interview with them on Wednesday night's show, right out of the gates at 9:00.
Awesome.
And so I'm very happy. It's like me talking to Mick Jagger, honestly. And if you like Southern rock and like folk, country-esque type stuff with some hard backbeat, you know, I mean, they
I know who
write
they
all
are.
kinds of different songs. And they're from Atlanta, where I grew up, and I was able to see them a handful of
I
times.
heard you talking
And
about it on the show last week.
they're a great band. I highly suggest everybody go check them out. And they got a documentary that's coming out today, released today. So,
Go watch that.
we'll have him on. We'll have him on Wednesday night. But yeah, Wednesdays, JRev Radio, 9:00 to 11 p.m. Eastern. Yippee
That's right.
number one. Love you
The
guys.
Love you
great
too,
trip
man.
too,
Hey,
ladies and
sorry
gentlemen.
about waking you up the other night, man. I totally
Yeah,
fucked
no wor-
over.
No worries. I totally forgot about that. No bubbles, no troubles, my friend.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I was going to call into the Sunday night show. I was in
Get your
Colorado.
time zones right,
And
bitch.
that whole time zone thing, coupled with that fine sour diesel, were really kind of, you know.
Lee was on sour diesel, forgetting he was in mountain time zone.
Yeah, he was in the fog.
It was
All right.
it was a mistake on my part. I apologize.
No bubbles, no troubles, man. I'll talk to y'all later.
Right on, man. Keep your kitties pretty. Don't let
Yep,
your meatloaf and all that fun stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a great time here on the Friday Night Super Show, and it has reached that top of the hour where it's time for us to take a little bit of a break, man. Dennis, I
Hey,
know.
what happened to all the callers, man? I thought we had some more callers.
Everybody's been, Brandon's been trying to get in. I've been trying to get other callers in. Yeah, Skype's being fucky and not letting me bring in other callers. We had Brandon at one point in time, and then I don't know. So, you know, it is what it is at this moment in time. So it's just you and me, champ, doing what we do best. And we've got plenty more to talk about coming up in the second hour, man. We've only begun to touch on these riots. We don't even know if Hillary's dead or not. I mean, all this crap and more we need to get onto, man. I'm telling you
That's
what.
right, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back tonight, live on the Friday Night Super Show. That's right. We're going to take a break, chill out for a minute. You know, maybe I can get some more enemies when we come back, get some more people that don't like me when we come back from break. And we'll have a good night here.
There's a good possibility. You never know what's going to happen when the tag team champs are in the house, man. I'm the Mouth with Dennis Ford. We'll be back here in just a few minutes on the Friday Night Super Show, babies.
Are you butt ugly with nasty-ass taste? Do you like pancakes? Then come on down to Betty's no-good clothes store and pancake house. Heinous dresses for big fat hoggies, cheap, tacky, ill-fitting suits that were never in style, stinky tight clothes for old people, and pancakes. And while you're here, why don't you check out our grubby, snotty little kids department, where you'll find awful, itchy kids' polyester jumpsuits that'll get the crap knocked out of them at school, and pancakes. So, put a bag on your head and hop on the ugly bus to Betty's no-good clothes store and pancake house. Terrible, terrible clothes and pancakes.
Betty's no good close up at Pancake House!
Boy, the way the Bee Gees played,
Movies John Travolta made.
guessing how much Elvis weighed. Those were the days.
And you knew where you were then.
Watching shows like Gentle Ben. Mister, we could use a man like Sheriff Lobo again. Disco Duck and Fleetwood Mac.
Coming out of my 8-track.
Michael Jackson still was black. Those were the days.
Yeah. The gold reserve got my tongue. Super loose and comfortably numb. More focused than ever and ready for whatever's to come. While Big Pharma got the populace wonderfully dumb. Addicted to deadly drugs to keep them under their thumb. You're dealing with scum. Handsomely paid to peddle poison. Enjoy something that grows out of the ground. That annoys them. Destroy them. Let them know you're privy to their thin scam. Stand tall. Don't ever fall for the flim flam. Most politicians are supporters of NAMBLA and actors who follow a script similar to Tony Danza. Who's the boss? It'll cost if you're a gambler. I'll disappear you off of the grid like Adam Lanza. My mantra, incarcerate inquisitors and put them on serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Pharmaceutical giants should lose all privileges, incarcerate their contributors, strip them of their visitors. All I got is a gold pot to piss in, a pole pot position, controlled opposition. They won't stop the mission, they don't got the vision. My cold got them shivering, I'm so hot, I'm sizzling. I am not a slave to the rhythm. The rhythm is a victim of an ancient predilection that I give them. The law of nature on which I base the decision. Obama was the pres, but I voted for Shirley Chisholm. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. The treatment you're receiving is no different from stepchilds. You keep swallowing semen of these demons and reptiles. When will you learn? Pyros are working together, taking turns, and their only endeavor is to make it burn. Hey yo, I had enough of this. Justice Department suck my dick, fuck that bitch. I will force feed her the poison from a pufferfish. These snuffleupagus motherfuckers in love with this hot potato, but they won't even touch it with some oven mitts. Now that I understand the level of deceit, to keep these devils in their seat and let them pedal on the street. Their pathetic, apologetic rhetoric, they won't compete with the veracity and the tenacity that can't be beat. Suckers and tyrants, they both act as one. The best way to expose them is to make them act like one. Look at all these evil people making the killing. Literally, I'll make the gargoyles come to life and eat the people in your building. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. Word magic has let the oligarchy step on your voice. Man, I'm telling you, it's the pirate's favorite weapon of choice. Lady Liberty has been literally keeping people in misery. The context is more complex than the prison industry. They're parasitically feeding upon the citizenry, leading it, ritualistically feeding it so habitually. America's in a crisis, getting massacred by ISIS. You could be Al-Qaeda, so your constitution don't mean shit to me. You look suspicious, miss. Step out your car, please. Civil forfeiture, we're collecting like Barclays. We'll take your cash and we'll wipe out your cars, please. And trying to get it back is worse than ripping out shark teeth. I hate to sound unkind, but all that does is cloud your mind. I hope you get to take some time away from shit that makes you blind. My self-contained underwater breathing apparatus lets me see these sharks for who they are and come report the status. Sharks might not be surrounding you yet, but you just wait till the moment that you're drowning in debt. You'll be so much more than upset. You'll be loading your weapon, step into the eye of the threat. Sharks, they are all around you. One drop of blood and they start to surround you. You better stop talking to skanks. They seduce you on the ship and you're walking the plank. Sharks. Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Sharks. Say what? Say what? What? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Sharks. Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? What? Say 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 what?
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but it seems to me that when the giant that holds up the earth dies, we are screwed.
Liquid chicken, baby! Do you have problems with your dental work? Does your gums bleed and get infected? Well, the answer to all your prayers is in this little bottle. You can eat liquid chicken with a straw. It's got all the vitamins and minerals of solid chicken, but it don't promote tooth decay. And, most of all, it don't promote a solid movement. Remember what happened to Elvis? Think about it. Liquid chicken is convenient, too. If you ain't got time to wash your hands and eat, just turn up a bottle of liquid chicken or drink it with a straw. Damn, that's good.
Sure, I might offend a few of the blue noses with my cocky stride and musky odors. Oh, I'll never be the darling of the so-called city fathers who cluck their tongues, stroke their beards, and talk about what's to be done with it.
Friday Night Super Show.
First thing that I did was buy a pack of smokes, checked into a motel and consult my horoscope. Sitting on the bed with my briefcase in my hand, patiently awaiting anyone for my command. Telekinetic dynamite, psychic warfare is real. You better believe it.
That's right, babies. We're right back here live on the Friday Night Super Show here at the Last Voice for Liberty Network. I'm the mouth laughing and scratching at you as always, along with Dennis, Mr. Friday Night Ford, man. We're kicking it off. The tag team champions in the house. Had Trip Hugh there in the first hour. Some expected callers coming in. It's we'll see how Skype's going to try and treat us because there's fucking me around with Brandon Council in the first hour. You can check him out at the archive of his show that's going on right now over there, Standing with Standing Rock on NWO Truth Radio. You know, our home away from home right here. Brother, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Lee. I wanted to bring up something now that you mentioned NWO Truth Radio. Didn't you do a show last night?
Yeah, I did with James Impending, the Doc himself. You know, we actually touched on quite a few important topics. You know, as far as your little what's that? Oh yeah, I got a whole sock full of it. Greenbacks there. You know, your dead presidents, man.
Well, I'm just saying, you know. For anybody that's interested in anything that has to do with NWO Truth Radio, the network is being rebuilt, and we are working on things, so that's going to be something that's going to be coming as well. Also, some other projects that me and Leaf here are working on that are coming out probably maybe before the new year, I don't know. But, yeah, 2017 should be interesting. But I tell you one thing, I've had enough of this year. 2016 has been the worst year of my life, beyond measure, you know.
Yeah,
I can honestly say this last year has tested me from every angle, and everything that's been thrown at me. It's amazing that I'm still here right now talking to you, Lee, or anybody on this show. So,
well, that's why again, you are Mr. Friday Night.
Not to bring up Facebook again, but you know, when you talk to somebody's like, "Oh, I got this problem, I got this problem, this problem." I'm like, "You think you got problems?" You know, you go into the problem discussion like nobody wants to be there.
Yep.
So
and brother,
I try to avoid that. I try to avoid that, and I try to look forward to the next few months because I know things that are in the works that are really going to surprise people that people are not really ready for. And that kind of, again, that's what keeps me motivated and keeps me doing what I'm doing. Love me or hate me, you're going to learn to love it. Woo! You know what I'm saying? I'm not going anywhere. Neither is Leaf here or anybody else that does what we do.
Can't stop.
We may get into it every once in a while, and we may not agree on everything, but at the end of the day, we're going to continue doing what we're doing. And, you know, that's all I can tell people. I'm not going anywhere.
Because we're the best at what we do. And that's hands down the bottom line. Everybody has tried to walk.
Somewhere, I'm going to come back to this, you know, better than I left. And that's the problem. That's a huge problem for a lot of people out there that don't understand what we do. And it's not ego. It's not talking shit. It's just letting people know. I would have never even started doing radio if I didn't think I could be one of the best at doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody doing radio should think that. If you're not thinking that, why are you in radio?
Exactly.
You know?
You're out there just, and this is something that, Trip
of
brought this up as far as
mainstream shit. Then why are you even doing radio? Lee, I know what I'm gonna let you finish, but you know the people that read the script. You know, oh, blah 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 blah. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna play this shitty song. Blah blah blah. Come back. We're gonna play this shitty song. And you're just regurgitating everything that you're told to do. Then you shouldn't even be in radio. You're just in the way. You're in the way. You need to get out of the way.
You're
so
totally
people like us that really take this serious, like Lee was saying earlier, in the first hour, if you study something, like I studied talk radio and radio in general, you know, because I was around before MTV was around, ladies and gentlemen. All right? So I know these things, and I always wanted to get into talk radio, and I decided to do it one day, and, you know, we're good at it. And that's why I did it. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think I was good at it.
Exactly.
And I do that with everything.
We've gone into this many times before, and for some of you people out there that are listening to the show for the first time, you know, I used to listen to Ronald Reagan, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck with the old man. My old man loved listening to talk radio, and every time, and Paul Harvey is one of my biggest heroes.
I mean, I'll take you all the way back to Howard Stern, man, in the 90s and shit.
You know, Cow, Howard Stern. Howard Stern, I really don't like, but
you know, before Alex Jones.
Yep,
William Cooper.
Things like that. But I always heard these, a lot of these mainstream guys, even all the way back. Man, I could do better than that. Why aren't they just being real about this shit? And so, you know, I started doing YouTube videos. Got found out by the great Austin Thomas, the Godfather there, man. That love and respect Austin. You know, we don't always agree, but always love and respect Austin. And started into my online radio career. I'd gotten online for the first time about 9 months before, you know, me and Austin started hooking up.
Well,
And
think about that for a second, man. Think about that. You were doing it for, 9 months, not even a year.
yeah,
And Austin was, being as smart as Austin is, he was able to find you on YouTube.
Yep.
Think about that for a second. You know what I'm saying? Out of all the people on YouTube, he found you.
yeah,
I don't know what he typed in.
you know.
Trying to think about what he would have
please
typed in.
please
to find
pass
you.
us that keyword, Austin Thomas, man, because
It's
damn.
like loud guy with mouth, Liberty, and then you came up or something,
I figure he just typed in asshole on YouTube, and I
Yeah,
must
that's
have
what I'm thinking.
come up
Too,
first thing. It's like, check this prick out.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people forget their history. They forget their origins. They forget the little things that we were talking about earlier. As the weeks and months go by and years go by, and you forget about those little moments in time that really mean a lot, that a lot of people don't hang on to. They just cast it away because, they're living in the moment.
Yep.
They forget about things
That's
like
not
that.
a part of what's making me great now, and nobody's paying me to say
but
anything
practice
about
makes
these
perfect.
people now.
We've been practicing. We're not practicing anymore. This is
No.
the big leagues. This isn't us working our way up. We've been doing this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
we're
We've done about the equivalent amount of shows as a 15-year veteran.
Yeah, that's not that's not the ego thing. Anybody out
all
there,
the
that's not the
networks.
ego thing or anything like that.
Between all the networks, Dennis, and all the different shows that we put on, man, I mean, the very first show on the Truth Emerges Network was the Last Voice for Liberty show. Guess who did that show? Me and
that was us.
Dennis fucking Ford. Oh, yeah, that's
That was
right.
the first show.
Oh. That's been a staple of it. The very first Friday Night Super Show. I mean, we were right there. We put it together.
Right.
We
Yeah,
did
the first
not.
Friday Night Super Show.
Dude, the old man died that week, and we still
Hold
did
on,
the
hold
fucking
on.
show.
Hold on 1 second. Matter of fact, just to take people down memory lane real quick. The first Friday Night Super Show, we had a good friend of mine on by the name of David Novinsky, which is also Brother Dave
Ghost.
now, but he was Ghostwriter at the time. And we featured Stand Tall. That was the first time the world heard that song was on the first Friday Night Super Show. Nobody else has ever done anything like that in the Truth Movement or anybody you know. That was me and Lee Peer.
And who's
We
premiered more of the
And we did it
underground
again a
truth
couple
music
weeks ago
on
when
this
we
show?
did the Steve Grant, Payday Monsanto, and PPP song.
Mm-hmm.
We did it again. That was the world premiere of that song. So, like I said, my only thing is I want to inspire people to do better than I've done, and I don't think anybody can do what we've done.
And you know what? Good. That means we're doing the fucking best we can. That means we're holding up. We're defending our titles. We are what we say
found our
we are.
niche. We found it, like Trick was saying. He's going to take shows and roast them and shit. That's something we should look into as well, because we found a niche and nobody's been able to take it away from us or move us away from the spot that we've had. We may move to another network, but still, this show is the front runner when it comes to exclusive content, music, guests, people, regardless.
Yeah, we're
It
the
doesn't
show
even
that
matter.
everybody wants to listen to, but nobody wants to tell anybody that they're listening to because we were too free for Freedomizer. We had too much truth for Truth Emerges. Now we're at the last voice for Liberty, and can't nobody shut us up, motherfuckers, because I owns that shit. All right, we went and decided that that's finally the way it has to go. I mean, not everybody's going to agree with us, and not everybody's shows on every network is going to coincide with the way that we do shit. I mean, because we are 100% hardcore, 100% truthful. We don't pull no fucking punches when it comes to getting on the air. All right, we're not here to pussyfoot around. Like Dennis said, we're not here for likes. We're not here for buddies or any of that crap. We're here to put this shit out there because y'all need to fucking hear it. All right? You take the dicks out of your ears or your mouths and everything else and just listen for about 3 hours a week. It's not that fucking difficult, okay?
That is the raw truth that Tripp was talking about when he was on the show. It's the truth that everybody knows about, but nobody wants to talk about or have a discussion about because everybody knows at the end of the discussion or debate that you're going to have, you're going to lose friends. I'm the one that welcomes those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I want the controversial topics, and I want people to basically draw a line in the sand. Where do you stand? And it's not that I'm going to turn my back on you, but I want to know if you're serious about what you're saying. Because if you're not for real, then why are you even doing this shit in the first place?
And if you're not for
Right?
real,
Everybody
and
talks
you
about-
think you're for real, and you're not for real, then maybe it takes one of us, like a Dennis Ford or a Lee Peer, a couple of agents of chaos, to sit here and go,
Right.
you know what, are you? Question you. Because maybe we want some of you to do that to us. And every time you try to argue with us on Facebook or call us a shill or an FBI troll or all that other garbage, go right ahead. Because that's you trying to attack us because we've affected your cognitive dissonance.
Or I may even be trolling that night. I may just be on a, you know.
Oh, yeah, sometimes we just get on there, just want to stir the shit. We want to be
we
that
have
stick
to
in
do
the
that
shit
because
pot.
Nobody is, listen, Lee, to all the people out there listening to this show, and Lee Peer especially, I know you know where I'm coming from because, like you said, Agent of Chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is on Facebook stirring up shit. Everybody is just compliant with what's going on. Oh, this is just what it is. This is just what it is. And then you got me in your news feed, and you read some of my posts, and you're like, that made me almost want to throw up. You know? And not because it's gruesome, just because it's the brutal truth of the reality we live in that a lot of people cannot handle and cannot even begin to understand the severity of the situation that they're dealing with right now.
They get that aching feeling of what apparently the kids have deemed butthurt nowadays. I don't understand it myself
Then you get
anymore.
people that love what we do, Lee. You get people that love our brand, not necessarily you, because I can't speak for you, but my brand of basically telling everybody to fuck off. People like that.
And that's the thing.
And I didn't design it that way. I'm just being who I am. But people like it. So when I leave, or I'm not around, or I don't get back to somebody, people really get offended about that.
Well, that's
they
one
really
thing
get
that I think, you and I jive on, and we're pretty much, complicit together on this thing, is that we enjoy pissing. I enjoy pissing people off. I really do. I want you to fucking get mad. I really do.
I like that.
Because
that's a good discussion for me because
I'm already mad.
Trip is right though. Trip is more, when he approaches a conversation with somebody, he's more of the, hey, let's chill out about the situation. Me, when we start talking, I'm going to hit you with everything and then look at your face and see where we go from there. They might get mad. They might be like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Or you might hit them with something. But for me, I really don't have time to sit there and be like, hey, here's the documents, here's all this proof in front of you. Because you have a computer in your pocket. You can do it yourself.
Exactly. And we've done that, though. We have done that for years, to where, we'll get into a thread and somebody will be like, well, back it up. All right. Bam. Here's 5. And then, at the end of posting those 5 links, 3 minutes after you posted the 5th link, which is 2 minutes after you posted the first one, then all of a sudden they're going, oh, well, that's just BS. That's just somebody saying this. That's just somebody saying that. And it's like, dude, you didn't even read it. Fuck off. You're sitting here where you question, you want it, you want the information. Oh, back your shit up. Bam, back up, right here. Got you. You want it? I'll give you all the information possible that I know of from credible sources. Oh, no, that's bullshit. You know what?
Right.
Go suck your fucking bag of dicks. I don't have fucking time for you motherfuckers. And here's the thing. I get to be, just that asshole that posts shit that pisses people off all week, and nobody gets mad at me. It's really kind of weird. Dennis can post a 5-word sentence on Facebook, and 20 people are all of a sudden going, what's that mean? You're a dick, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, really? That's all he said. 5 words. You fucking marionettes, I swear to Christ, you all fucking jump every time. I mean, who are you? Dennis, really? Does the FBI pay that well? I mean,
no, I wanted to talk about something you were saying earlier. It's like, again, when it comes to Facebook, it's social media. It's just, you don't even know if half of these people you're talking to are even the people you're talking to. That's why I don't use my profile picture, because I always love that question when somebody's like, well, obviously you're inform it because we don't even know what you look like. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want you to think. And that's when it gets into when people call me a shill or they say I'm an antagonist or I start drama or any of these things because they want that for me. You know what I'm saying? I can't ever stop doing it because every time I do it, somebody's like, oh, you know, he's just doing radio shows, so you have to stir the pot. I'm stirring the pot for people. I'm fitting into what they want, and at the same time, I'm giving them what they don't want. And what they don't want is really, really abrasively too. I don't know anybody on Facebook, let alone, again, it's not an ego thing. I'm just saying it's a reflection of who I am when I get on Facebook. I'm not on there to be Mr. Popular. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on there for any of that. I'm just really good at what I do. And nobody can do what I do. Like Tripp said, nobody can touch me, Lee.
Or you know, and he actually alluded, and I hope Tripp is listening back to the archive when I say this, because he kind of alluded to like he wasn't going to, you know, put us up on the roast. Wait a minute. I'm putting this out there right now. If Tripp Pugh does not roast the Friday Night Super Show, there will be hell to pay.
No, we're going to work together in the last month, you know, of October, right around Halloween or something.
Yep, it's the 30th will be a Sunday. That will be on JRev Radio, and you know what? Since I do, you know, kind of own this network, we can do a broadcast. Yep. So it's going to happen.
But here's the thing, right? Like I said, you have people have nicknames. You know, one of your nicknames is the Mouth. So for you, that could be a persona that you run off. You know, that's you acting, just like all these other people in society.
Yeah, and in the beginning, you know, that really was kind of the idea behind the whole Mouth persona. You know, I mean, people have called me that for a very long time, but I was kind of like, hey, you know, you can take this and run with it. But
it's like your stage name. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not really you, but it is you. It's like you turned up to 150.
Well, yeah, that's kind of really what it is. You have no idea, kids, the amount of caffeine and alcohol I have to prepare for this show, or pretty much any time I get on the air, because.
And like I said, it's not that
people
we do that on shows.
Well, people expect me to be this rambunctious asshole that says anything, and you know, sometimes.
I just don't want people to think, Lee, that we get on shows and we're here trying to act.
No, that was the big thing about you know, continuing on the whole Mouth thing was, dude, at some point in time, you can't just be the radio show persona. You've got to be you, and yeah, I am me.
Better than others.
All my whole drunken craziness, yeah, that's all me.
No, Lee, I'm just saying, some people can transition between, you know, who they are as a person to maybe a character that they're portraying, and we all do that, especially when it comes to radio, and especially when it comes to social media. You know, I'm being myself, but I'm being myself, like, amped up because I want to piss people off. I want to get people riled up, and not to the point where you're like, you know, this is another thing. I don't want people showing up to my door and be like, hey, remember what you said on Facebook, bitch? I'm going to beat your ass. You know, that's stupid shit. Like, if you read something on Facebook and it offends you, that lets me know I did my job. Also, it lets me know that you really don't know what you're dealing with.
Exactly.
If words piss you off that much, especially something I said.
Exactly.
I'm just a small fish. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big fish.
Exactly. So but the one thing that we have going for us more than anybody else.
People strangely, and you've seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen it with your own eyes.
It's absolutely hilarious. It's like, and that's why, you know, during the week I could sit there and just, you know, post things that, you know, I know it's going to piss people off, but people don't get all that pissed off at me because they've already got strings being pulled. You know, and by other people, or especially you. I mean, because we have so many friends in common, so they're already. I'm mad at Dennis about this, and or what's wrong with Dennis, and this stuff. And it's like, you know, I'm posting stuff that's getting, you know, 100 Facebook likes, and you know, up in those ranges, and the only thing people can message me about is what's wrong with Dennis. Fuck. I mean, what am I doing wrong? You know, I mean, I've got an 8-inch penis. I don't know.
I mean, I kind of learned from you when you were doing Freedomizer. And even when you were, transitioning in the radio, I kind of learned, I picked up on a few things that I kind of put them in my own repertoire, if you will. So I'm very good at I don't know why people care. I'm not very different from the majority of people that do what we do. I'm not the most social person to begin with, but when it comes to Facebook, I like to see what people are talking about because they're sitting in front of a computer screen reading some shit I posted and they get mad about it. That blows my mind.
We are broadcasting. I've got to say this because it came up.
And get on Facebook like I do. Please don't do that.
It just came up on the show page on the promo for this. We've got listeners going on in Scotland right now, kids. My ancestors' homeland. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
and also,
awesome.
like I said, Lee, it's not anything personal to anybody out there. It's just that I'm doing what I do, and I don't know anybody else out there that can do what Dennis Ford does. And if you can, please do it better than I have.
Yeah, step up. We will take auditions. And believe me, I'm about the most qualified. Yes,
AJ, or anybody.
Yep, I'm about the most qualified to judge whether or not you can do as good as Dennis Ford. If you want to take my place, by all means, send your admissions to Dennis Ford because he's about the only person good enough to judge whether or not you're good enough to take my place. And please, if you can, do it because we will let you.
Here's an important aspect that a lot of people don't understand. A lot of these other radio show hosts, NWO Truth Radio is one thing, and Truth Emerges is one thing, and there's some other radio networks. But the origins, the history of those people as radio show hosts go back to me. A lot of these radio show hosts that people are listening to, I handpicked and selected myself and gave them the opportunity because I believed in them. I saw the potential in them, just like Leaf here saw in me. So it is love at the end of the day, but, I want people to do what I'm doing because I'm getting really tired of picking up all the loose ends from everybody.
It gets frustrating as fuck, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know you know where I'm coming from because
so many weeks go by, and each and every week, man, there are so many times that I feel like it's just us, and each and every week, admittedly, people who are listening or are chiming in, being a part of the show or what have you. They give me that little bit of, damn it, Lee, you're really doing something right. You and Dennis fucking are the champs. You fucking make it. And at the end of the episodes, most episodes, as far as when there's not technical difficulties and all that, but, I mean, most of them, and especially over the, however many years we've been, 2.5 years that we've been actually doing the Friday Night Super Show together.
Yeah.
Dude, we have had some epic things going on here, man. Some epic people bringing in, and people that are big names in what we call the truther movement, man, who are approaching us and wanting to be a part of this show. So it's when we sit here and talk about us being the champs, dude, it's not just us, promoting our egos or waving our dicks out for Harambe or anything like that, dude. We get approached by people. People want to be a part of the show because of what we do. We don't come out here with any falsehoods. We don't come out here with any bullshit or lies. Man, this is us. And to prove that it's us, we sit here and drink during the show and promote the fact that we are having drinks. This is where the real happy hour is.
Right.
Every Friday night. Before you go out and hit the clubs with your bands.
Don't get that twisted. Don't get that confused. There's plenty of Friday Night Super Shows where we've been stone cold sober.
Oh, yeah.
All right? So,
and it's still been the happy hour.
Yeah,
no matter what.
My whole thing is, Lee, is that, again, when I set out to do something, I have goals to achieve. And when I see things working, like I said, when certain songs may be coming out, I jump on it. Other people are not doing that. I don't know what they're doing as radio shows. They want to get Adam Kokesh on, or you want to dwell, again, you want to dwell in the past? Is that where you want to hang out? You want to dwell in people that haven't done what I've done? Not to toot my own horn, but a lot of this stuff that is going on in the radio community. Like I said, from hosts to music that people had no idea about. Me and Lee Peer both have given people music that you had no idea was out there.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, guests and authors and people, just good friends of ours that come on the show that are the most intelligent people that you're ever going to hear in radio, period. So, nobody else is doing that except me and Lee Peer. And then when we branch off and do our own things, it's still good, but it's not the same as the Friday Night Super Show. And that goes for when I do shows with Brandon or anybody else. You know, we all have our own certain chemistry.
Same here.
So,
yeah, it's you know, it's not to take away from the shows that we do, away from the Friday Night Super Show, ladies and gentlemen, because
Lee, you don't know how many times
it's still us, dude. I mean, it's still us being us. But the Friday Night Super Show is the Friday Night Super Show is when you get Lee Peer, Dennis Ford together, the tag team champions of talk radio, man. There's a reason why we say this, and you got somebody else that's better than us? Bring it. Bring it. Right. The chat room is open. We're still running another hour and 40 minutes here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. By all means, get on it. www.spreaker.com/the Last Voice for Liberty Network. Get there, man. Be a part of the Friday Night Super Show.
Lee, I don't have a problem. Listen, I don't have a problem with just hanging out with Lee here for the next hour. My point is I wanted to bring up that I've had people approach me in the past saying, you need to choose between Lee here or us. And I chose you. And I know out of all the people I've met in my journey doing this, I don't have to question where Lee Peer, what he's going to choose. And that's important. You see what I'm saying? That's respect and love. Out of all the shit we've been through, you know, we're approaching 200 episodes on the Friday Night Super Show. It's coming up fast. So when I decided to do this show, I knew what I signed up for, and I'm not jumping ship until Lee Peer does, and I don't think he ever will. So
no, I can't until I die, man.
Yeah, it's going to be here. There's nothing nobody can do about that now because there's nobody else's opinions. It's just your network.
And you know,
not even me. I don't even have an opinion at this network. This is Lee Peer's whole thing.
No, bullshit, dude. Your opinion matters.
You understand what I'm saying, though?
More to me than most people.
You know where I'm going with this.
Let me tell you.
But I know you've had the same thing. People approach you and be like, Lee, it's either Dennis or us. Mm-hmm. And I know what your answer is going to be to that. So
no, you can ask Austin Thomas and Liberty Lisa, man. I started Truth Emerges Radio with them. That was the three of us coming together and going, you know what? We're not going to be censored. We're not going to be made. If we got to pay for our airtime, we might as well make our own shit, and that's what we did.
That's what we did, and that's what I'm saying. Not to mention any names or anything, but when that network decided to go another direction, we were like, okay, you know, if you don't want us, we'll go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And we're still going to survive. And we're still going to do what we do that nobody else can do. Mm-hmm. Nobody else in radio does what the Friday Night Super Show does. And not only that, if it was a competition of people that were involved in our tight little community, you know, like I said, Lee's going to be pretty high on the list. I'm going to be pretty high. And so is Tripp and Zach and some other people, Austin. There's going to be, you know, top 10 people that are highly respectable people that put in a lot of time and effort.
And that's for sure. And look at the one other notable Friday night show that's going on right now. That's the Anarchy Girl show. Right. If you people notice something, I want everybody to know something. Whenever Anarchy Girl schedules her show, it is opposite of our time. She won't schedule a show over us.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's something me and you would only pick up on, and other people on the radio.
Well, that's called respect.
And like I said, I don't even like to get on our shows and talk about the behind politics about what happens. But like I said, man, nobody should question what I bring to the table because I was doing this before I met Lee here. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for a long time. I perfected the craft. I am a master of puppets. I mastered the art. I mastered how to manipulate this. And like I said, I would have never got into it if I didn't think I could fill that niche that wasn't there. I was hearing all this amazing music, and I was like, nobody's playing this music? I'm going to do a talk radio show and play this music. And here we are today in 2016.
2016, the Friday Night Super Show
It was
going.
all a dream. It was magazine. You know, I just had a dream. I had a vision, and I'm fulfilling it every day. Every time we do a show, whether it's technical difficulties or whatever, I'm just proud that a show is coming up. And like I said, we took a month off, and that was beautiful. I love that. Taking weeks off for doing radio. But at the end of the day, I still missed it. I missed it. You know, I wanted to be on radio.
Yeah.
So
every Friday night, dude, I was like, hey, you know what? I get to get drunk all night. And I was like, why am I not talking shit? And then the people that were living around me was like, oh, guess what? You get to listen to me rant now.
Yeah, it's not even that, though. It's like, hey, I do a radio show on Friday, and people are like, hey, where can I check it out? Where can I find it? And then they listen to the show. You can only imagine what people are thinking, first-time listeners to the Friday Night Super Show. They're like, I've never heard anything like this in my life. Same thing with Post
Nobody
Politics.
has.
Very unique show. Like
we got a bunch of new listeners.
It would be Post Politics and Bobby and Zach and what they do on Post Politics, because that's a very... You're not going to get that anywhere else. There's nobody out there making radio like Trisha.
It's one of the few other radio shows that I love to call into because, that they're like me. They really are.
They're just some good old boys.
Even good old Zach tonight, man, fucking hit me up. He's like, man, I'm already lit. And I'm like, dude, I know exactly where you're going. It's sometimes it's that fucked up coping mechanism that
No, it's kind of
weird
have. Because if you look at it, Trip is kind of like you in certain ways, Lee, and I'm sort of like Zach in a lot of ways. Because Zach is an artist, I'm an artist. We both like hip hop. Trip's not the biggest hip hop fan, just like Lee P is. So it's like we're looking in the mirror and shit. And we both have shows, so it's very unique. Nobody else. It's a moment in time, Lee. And it's like WCW versus WWE, back in the old days.
Yep, we're just waiting for Vince McMahon to buy everything,
and we can talk shit about them, and they can talk shit about us, and they can get away with it just like we can because it's camaraderie. We appreciate what each other does.
And that's the other thing about it is like they don't talk shit about us, and I really don't have anything foul to say about them because every time that you and I have been on this show, especially you and I together, and I think it stresses them out just a little bit. I've seen the video chats through Skype.
We never had Trip, and I think we had Trip and Zach on at one time on the Friday Night Super Show, but we've never had that prior to that. So that needs to happen. So we're going to hook up all four of us
on
one show, and we're going to do that. But like I said, we could go back together and give each other shit, but we don't because it's just a mutual respect in what we do. And both radio show hosts over there are very similar to what we do. And people I learn from.
And it's not out of the ballpark that, the Friday Night Super Show couldn't be just on the Last Voice for Liberty and also appearing on J-Rev Radio here in the near future. That's not out of the ballpark. Time and talking, is required. Time being the major issue. But
like I said, we don't really know where we're going into 2017, but it's very, very interesting time to be doing what we do, especially for me and Lee Pierre. I mean, we have a lot of options right now. We have a lot of things that we can work on.
We're at the fucking cusp of history, man.
Right.
And that's a heavy fucking responsibility.
Yeah, we're moving up. We're expanding. And like I said, it's not disrespect or anything personal to anybody out there that feels any certain way about what I do, because like I said, I had a dream. I got goals to achieve, and I'm going to do it in my lifetime.
That's the funniest thing about how you piss people off. Why would they be? What's the matter with Dennis? What? All of a sudden, words hurt you?
Yeah.
What? What did he do?
You didn't give a shit about anything I was doing, but all of a sudden I said something. Now you can.
What did he do? Did he come over to your house and anally rape your mother while pouring sugar in your gas tank? Oh, no, he said some stuff on Facebook. Man, shut the fuck up, for Christ's sakes. Good Lord. Don't you have anything better to do? I mean, grab a broom and sweep your fucking floor as opposed to worrying about when Dennis Ford is fucking pissing people off. If he's pissing you off, guess what? You've been fucking up for a very long time. Don't fucking send me a message because I will fucking tell you exactly why you're fucking up.
Right. And that's what I said. When I log into Facebook, sometimes it reminds me of like going to Walmart and just looking at all the people in Walmart that I don't fucking care about. I don't care about none of these people. Just get out of my way. I got shit I gotta do. I got plans and shit I gotta achieve. I'm not on Facebook or social media to sell you anything. Pretty much, I'm not here to sell you shit. You don't have to listen to the show. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to like my comments. You don't have to like me. All you have to do is get out of my way. That's what you need to do. Everybody on there, through pages and everything else.
Swimming in my wake.
Just think about social media, Lee Pierre. There's people on there right now talking about bullshit. I can prove it to you. There's 50,000 people talking about some shit that the media told them to talk about. And it's trending right now.
I've even still got it open up. Yeah,
like, what is wrong with people? And what I say pisses you off with all the shit we're dealing with? What I said made you mad?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, thank you. That's a compliment. Thank you.
You must be the big dick swinging, the swinging past your knees.
No, 'cause I really don't give a fuck. I really don't care at this point. And it's not that anything I went through in this past year. It's just I've always been this way. I don't feel like slowing down. I don't feel like
this year, social media speaking, to be quite honest, as your brother, man, I will tell you this. You just fucking let the lion out the closet. He's like, you know what? Fuck you people. Now it's time for you to fucking get real. Either you're going to fucking get real and be that fucking lion, be that fucking person that stands up and says something, or you're going to fucking be a little goddamn pud-pulling bitch. And I see so many of them. So many of them.
The important
every
thing
day.
Is a lot of people, here's an important aspect of what you're talking about, Lee, because when people join Facebook, they don't even know how to use Facebook, first of all. Okay? I have to explain extensively to people on Facebook how to do shit. Why would you even sign up for something if you don't know how to use it? Is this thing on? Click. Mic check. Is this on? Why would you sign up for something if you don't know how to use it? And then study it so you understand it. If you don't know how to do that, then you shouldn't be on Facebook. There's a lot of people on Facebook and on social media that have no fucking business using a computer, let alone being on social media.
You're damn right. You want to look at them and go, dude, how many times you piss on the fucking seat before somebody told you to lift the goddamn lid? What in the fuck is the matter with you, man?
Leg, all right? You don't need to be on Facebook.
Ended up as a brown stain on the damn mattress.
Get the fuck out of here.
But you know what? In the end, man, these are the people that we get on the fucking radio for each and every goddamn week. It's like, you are so fucking dumb. Your head has to be planted firmly up your ass. But yet, here we are each and every week fighting for you, even though you hate us and it call us every goddamn name in the fucking book. But here we are fighting for you. I'm sitting here wondering which one of us has our head farther planted in the goddamn sand. I mean, it's sometimes I do that, but really, this is the frustration we have. Is we are fighting for everybody, not just the select group of people that we deem to be cool or any of that other garbage. Every fucking buddy, everybody. It's a non-discriminatory race, color, nationwide. It doesn't matter. Everybody. And there's still all you people out there that hate us and act like we're the biggest dicks in the world. And don't you say fuck on the radio because God did it, blee, 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 and Bible and Chris Santorum and fuck.
Yes, Demolition Man. Don't you cuss because it should go off like, use of language.
You've been fined one credit for suck a bag of fucking dicks, man.
Here's your receipt, bitch.
We don't put that shit off to the side, man. We're not going to sit here and act like controlling our language is going to make anything any better, because it ain't.
Right. Well, this is important to bring up, because when it comes to these underground artists that I was talking about in the first hour, you have a particular individual that likes to cuss in his songs, and this is why a lot of artists don't work with him. But he can not cuss in his songs and still be better than any artist that is featured on the track with him. And this is who Lee, you know who I'm talking about. I'm sure we played some music during the break from Payday Monsanto.
You know it.
Payday Monsanto is guaranteed, pound for pound, the best underground truth, quote unquote, activist, quote unquote, whatever the fuck you want to call it. He's the best rapper I've ever heard in my life, pound for pound. He can destroy anybody. And I don't care who you bring to the debate. But I can guarantee you, Payday's going to win. This dude makes music he's making music right now. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't stop making music. And then I talk to whoever it may be, like, oh, I got a mixtape coming out in February. We're working on it. But I get new songs from Payday like every couple weeks. Mm-hmm. So what are you doing? If you making music, be real about making music. Be on the level of a Payday Monsanto. And I learned a lot from him, just like Lee Peer has. Lee Peer doesn't even like hip-hop music. But guess what?
It's not on my top 10, but I'll tell you what. If I don't hear at least one Payday song a day, I get mad. Mm-hmm. I do. Because that motherfucker speaks truth. Not just bullshit, not any of that other stuff. When we got Kent maybe joining us, we'll see if Skype lets us. Kent, are you there?
Yeah, turn your radio down or whatever that is. Kent, that's me.
Yeah, turn your radio down and shit, man. But no, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not listening to at least one Payday Monsanto song a day, whether it's off the new Murder by Numbers, which, you know, is available on Amazon and all that, listen to Missiles with Relish.
Yeah.
It goes on and on. The guy does not put out bad music at all.
Now, this is interesting because while we got Kent on the line, Kent, I know, you know, anonymous is one thing, so you're going to come into whoever works through that movement. But the interesting thing about Payday is he doesn't really have there's no category you can put him in. He just does what he does.
He made his own category.
Who are you going to compare him to? Because nobody does what he does. So I just want to get your opinion on it. I mean, you're probably not the biggest hip-hop fan, but when it comes to activism, underground truth music, you know what I'm saying? How do you feel about that?
Well, he rocks. I mean, he's got that distinctive sound, that distinctive voice, you know? He just rocks it. I mean, you know, for me being a rocker, that's the terminology I like to use. But, yeah, I mean, he's awesome. And, I like everybody that's rapping in the truth movement. You know, I need to get on my...
Steve? What about Steve Grant?
Yeah. I like Steve. I like Diesel. I like, of course, Vinny, you know, PTP.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
You know? So,
you know, the interesting thing about that, Kent, is that all four of those people you mentioned, I was promoting back in 2011 and 2012 when nobody knew about them. When I wasn't getting any likes and nobody gave a shit about who Diesel Automatic was. That was me and Lee Peer and the rest of us promoting that music. I don't want to take credit for you knowing who they are because I don't know when you found them. But I can guarantee you, a few years ago, we were putting in that kind of work every day.
I only heard of them, you know, like in the past 2 years. I mean,
well, that's what I'm saying. That might be a direct reflection of what I was doing in 2012 to help people find people like Payday, find people like Steve, find people like Vinny, find people like Diesel Automatic, because Diesel Automatic is one of the most incredible artists you're ever going to fucking hear in your life. And it's amazing that people don't know about him.
Yeah, that dude's intense, man. It's just the way he just brings it, man. It's just like, he's intense. And I think Steve and Vinny and everybody else, you know, Payday, I just heard through you guys in the past few months. So, yeah, I mean, I have to thank you guys for, you know.
See, there we go.
Diesel is the slayer of hip-hop music.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, I was listening a bunch of times last week. I'll be listening to it later. I'm drinking a little bit of beers. And
all right, well, I'm just saying, that was 4 years in the workings, my brother. That was 4 years for that song to be able to be you listening to it when you're drunk tonight.
We got boys, chill out, man. We got 541 joining us here, man.
Yeah. There we go.
Can you hear us, 541?
Hey, gentlemen, I didn't know if you wanted. I'm just calling in to listen. How you doing?
Oh,
that conversation. What's going on, man?
Yeah, brother. Anytime you want to call in, man, and just listen, man. Hit me up before the show, man.
I forgot all about it.
No, I wanted to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question, Payday, while we got.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce this right. Payday Monsanto
give me a second
on the line here. So
give me a second. What I was saying before, 10 minutes before you called in, is saying that I've already told you this probably 1,000 times, but Payday Monsanto is pound for pound the best artist you're ever going to hear, regardless of what genre. If you want to put it into hip hop, that's one thing. If you want to put it into underground truth music, you have to mention Payday Monsanto. It's got to be like number 1 or 2, right? And then you got some other people like Diesel, Steve Grant, PPP, other people. But I want to find out who's the best, and I already know who's the best. It's Payday. We all know this.
You know what? It's not even about that. You know what I think? You just splashed something from a while back that a guy named Saul Williams said, and he encapsulated it so succinctly. When it becomes about competition, you lose. So he was
but it is a competition. It is a because you wouldn't even be rapping if you didn't think you were the best, right?
Yeah, but that all goes on the back burner after a while. And
no, it doesn't.
He's got a point, Dennis. He's got a point.
He does have a point. But I'm just saying, nobody does what you do. It's like that line you said in the song. Who the fuck you comparing Payday to? Nobody does what Payday does. Nobody. And you make your own beat.
You know what? You know, Payday. He got a point too. Fuck, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
why y'all gotta put me in the middle? Shit, I'm gonna smoke.
To hear you guys coming through clearly that what happened the last time, man. I hope you got a good copy of that show. It was good. What I could hear, it's a shame because you guys were having a really good conversation, and it sounded like it was coming through a tin can.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it worked out because we talked to you for like 2 hours after the show.
It's working up. We're getting our sound levels are all clear tonight.
But again, not to boost your ego, Payday. But I just want to let you know, like I said, 2011, 2012.
Feel me, you know what I mean? And I'm really appreciative that there are.
I'm just saying. I heard. Just give me a second here. Just give me 1 minute. When I heard Sheeple of America in 2011, right? We the Sheeple, right?
That's a good day.
After that, my life changed, and then here we are in 2016, and you're calling into a show, and we're communicating. We're in contact, but now you're on your 7th album. Like, I don't think people really understand that. Like, I'm the only one that really grasped the concept because.
Oh no, you ain't the only one.
I appreciate what you do.
Some of them, those who do.
Yeah, Missiles with Relish was amazing in itself. But this album, I think it's hard to say which is your best album, But I like The Patent, and I like Call Me When You're Free, and then we move on to now, the 7th album. And we get Sharks and all this other shit. And that's another thing. Are you in contact with, like, Luca or some other people to work on some stuff?
No, I haven't talked to Luca. I tried to locate him. I'll tell you. Let me tell you a little secret. I tried to call Luca. I was looking for him, worried about him. Then I finally found, his home, his grandmother's and grandmother's boyfriend Ray's phone number. Called him.
Right.
This motherfucker, he's fine. He's sleeping upstairs. And I said, I hung up the phone. I said, you tell that cocksucker, when he's ready to apologize, to call me. Otherwise, don't even fucking do it. I was worried about him. I didn't know what happened to him. People were, I was starting to worry about him, and then people were calling me, some of his roadies,
right?
Asking me, have you heard from Luca or Luca? And this is going on for like a month and a half, but I don't feel any certain way. People sometimes need to detach, and that's great. But
no, I mean, you guys make good
music. I don't appreciate that, someone I consider a brother not letting me know that they're all right when,
Yeah, I understand that. But that's the thing. It's like, it wasn't Luca. It was Trillium. When he heard Sharks, he was like, that's funny because me and Payday and Luca, we all recorded that, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, the song is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that never worked out because you know what? Trillium was acting like a prima donna. Well, maybe that's the wrong word. I didn't really care too much for the aesthetics because the beat was there and he was just complaining about so much shit. So I said, you know what? Let's just pause this. And it went on a back burner. And then, as I was digging through the crates,
Yeah, but here's the interesting thing. You don't need a feature. You don't need anybody on the track with you, and that's what makes you different than all these other artists. Right?
I just want to say something. Well, I appreciate that, Dennis, but I could use, believe me, the fact that there's not many features on there, there's a few, I wish I could have had more. And I just want to say I had trouble with the labeling from CD Baby. They kind of fucked with me. Because Elias Clay is on there. I don't know if I expressed this before. There's a couple people I want to do a tribute to the cuts on that, saying that on one song, The Beast. There's a lot of people on there.
Yeah, what about the track, The Whole Block, that beat you sent me? Because it's kind of already done, but I was thinking maybe somebody could jump on it, I don't know.
Payday and Elias Clay has always proved to be.
I wanted to give him credit.
I love that song.
Here loves that song.
I do.
Leprechaun.
That's like one of my favorite ones, dude.
I sent him the draft version, and a.k.a. Matt Cole. Fucking genius, this guy. He was sending me back, he was right on point with it. He wrote half the lyrics.
Dude, that song is so fucking awesome. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never heard it, please.
When my lady was here a long time ago, and then, she's here now, actually. She just came for a few months, which is splendid.
Big cheers.
Yeah, that song, we were just vibing together, and, the Leprechauns came up. Is it the Eskimos or the Leprechauns?
No, dude, that track just, it hits every time, man. I mean,
I went across the board with whatever sounded good at the time.
No, it really does, man. Because if you really start to think about it, kids, man, what is a leprechaun? Look back into your history, look back into your lore, and as to what a leprechaun really is. It's not Lucky Charms underneath the rainbow going, oh, these kids are trying to steal me Lucky Charms. The Frosted Adult cereal with sweet surprises. No, it's not gonna. It's not that.
Was like the Irish's little legend, ode to the Yidlings,
Mm-hmm. But being part of my heritage, man. The leprechauns were evil. You didn't want to go around them bastards because they were tricksy, false.
Gentlemen, like every culture has it in them. It's just who's predominant at the time, and unfortunately, there's been an imbalance and disproportionate balance of power. Yeah, but everyone.
Wow, that's interesting.
Every tribe.
That's interesting because I want to ask you a question about not necessarily the riots and everything that's going on with the cops shooting another black dude here in America, but like Chicago.
I don't even know like line one about that story other than
all right, well that's itself. That's one thing.
Black cop. People don't care, but the media will keep telling you they don't.
That's what I'm saying.
They've mastered the art of ignoring the salient facts, the shit that matters,
mm-hmm.
and they take you into the weeds. Like they're pros at it.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I was sending you that Ice Cube beat. You better check yourself and work on some shit like that and think about Chicago because 42 young black African Americans have been murdered already in the month of September, and it's just getting worse. They already broke the numbers for last year. And guess where they're getting those guns?
Can I be that guy that says the asshole thing in the middle of a serious conversation, man? Quit calling them African Americans, man. None of them motherfuckers been born in Africa.
I'm just saying.
Just saying. Dude, they've yelled at me about this. Yeah, and being a long-haired white guy, when you get yelled at by a black guy, that's what I was told they need to be called.
I hear you, bro.
It's like, dude, you're just people. You're people. Guess what? If I hack off your arm, hang on, Ken. If I hack off your arm and hack off my arm, guess what? We're both going to bleed about the same amount.
Yo, where are you exactly, Lee? Because I feel you. I can see after what they did. Poor white guy had his hands in the air, like and they just drug him and shit. It's a shame.
It is.
Or they shoot your dog.
Show that over and over again.
Well, dude, I'm in the middle of the cornfield, man. Redneckville, USA, dude.
All right, my whole point is that if anybody doesn't know what's going on in Chicago, please look into that shit because
I'm only 500 miles
right now.
That's a valid question. Where's the gun coming from?
It's all throughout the United States. It's nothing new. It's been going on for the last 30 years.
That was summer camp. The Fast and Furious shit.
Yep.
You know? Right. So I want to give Ken a minute because I know Ken is kind of new to your music, and it's a rare opportunity, like I said, for you to call on the
is
show
a big fan of this show, man.
Yeah, man, it's good to finally meet you and say hey to you there, Payday. Love your music, bro. Just got into you a couple months ago, thanks to Dennis and Lee here on the Friday Night Super Show.
Oh, I've seen your name. Like maybe it was in a YouTube comment. I took note of Spent Kent. It had to be you, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you Spent Kent on YouTube?
Yeah. I got a couple of just old rock songs. I've made a couple of videos and stuff. Nothing big. I just do my own little thing and. I'm more of a rocker, a musician. I don't really do too much rap. I did a little bit, here and there, but I'm definitely trying to get going on my music. I've just been out of it for a couple of years, really, and I need to get off my ass and get going again. I'm all by myself. I got shitty equipment, 4-boy equipment.
Well, hit me up, brother. Hit me up.
I've been jamming for a long time. I mean, I've been out of bands all my life and whatnot, rock bands and just been trying to like chill for a few years and haven't really been inspired. I wrote like 1 or 2 songs and just kept to myself basically. But I definitely want to start getting into the movement, and as far as writing music that's into the movement. I was just always writing party music.
Where you located?
FLA.
Beach.
Myrtle?
No, New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Okay,
New Smyrna.
Yeah, the Spent Kent's in Florida.
Yeah, we don't consider that the East Coast. That's the dirty South, Florida. So
dirty.
All the nuts hang out at. Crazy down here, man.
And forgive me, but it slips my mind. Is Lee in Georgia?
No, man, I'm in Iowa. God damn it, dude! I've told you this 100 times.
Where at? No, Iowa. All right.
Iowa.
Yeah, he hangs out in the cornfields and shit.
The middle of the country. Yeah.
And he just got back from Colorado. Lee Perry just took a trip last week. Getting stoned in Colorado.
And still happened to have at least 2 conversations about Payday Monsanto music. I don't understand it.
Smoking green crack. Remember?
Where at? Are you like Des Moines?
Yep.
What's going on there?
Yeah, Des Moines. Des Moines. I'm sorry. Des Moines, yeah.
The old butthole of the universe, the black hole of the universe.
No, that's DC, my brother.
Okay, DC might be the butthole, but we're the black hole because you may leave, but you always end up coming back.
Chicago, huh?
Only 553 miles there, buddy.
The city, Minneapolis, Indianapolis, and Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
You got to the west of you is Nebraska.
Oh yeah, and let me tell you, folks, there's nothing in Nebraska. Nothing in Nebraska.
Yeah, that's right.
If there's like 2 states in the nation that I never want to fucking go through again, it's Kansas and Nebraska. Because there's fucking nothing there, dude.
Why Kansas?
Hey,
well, okay.
No, I was just going to say the interesting thing about Lee, too, is Lee is tied into the underground music market there in Des Moines. He knows a lot of good bands and showed me a lot of good bands. So definitely want to thank him for that.
I just like
I wouldn't
music.
know these bands if it wasn't for Lee Perry.
Well, I wouldn't know Payday Monsanto if it weren't for Dennis fucking Ford. And dude, I love playing your music anywhere I can possibly go, dude. I was playing your music actually in a First Christian church this week. So it made me feel really good. It did.
Man, I hope it was not one of the harsher ones. Hope you're playing something more easy listening.
What do you like about it?
No, probably not.
Who knows? He's got like a mixtape. It's probably like 150 songs that he just runs through.
Oh,
we're playing it in a Christian church, you said?
Yeah. That's where I've been working all week.
Well,
since I got back to town, so.
You roll some melodies too. You actually do some singing. It's not all rap. You do. You do.
Yeah, he does a lot.
Melodies. Yeah, I like that. That too.
Motherfuckers be like, oh, I just, you know what I'm saying? I just rap.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, cool, to get a point across, right? That's the only reason I use it. But I hate rap.
No, I'm just saying, motherfuckers, especially in the movement, or people be like, even your homeboy down the street, you'd be like, oh, I rap. I'm like, yeah, I know somebody that raps, but he does a lot of other shit too.
I like hip-hop,
way beyond rapping.
Fucking, Melly Mel, that's my man. I listen to, that's what I listen to.
Holy shit, I can't believe someone said Melly Mel in my presence. Oh, I thought I was the only motherfucker that knew.
Grandmaster Flash.
Uncle Automatico and Steve Grant, and down to Melly Mel and, Sugar Hill Gang and Cool G.
Like I said, I pulled out Paris the other night, and I was listening to Paris, The Devil Made Me Do It, and the only thing I could think of was you. I was like, that reminds me of Payday Monsanto, just the rhythm, the delivery, but he's, not as fast as you might be on modern day rapping, but it just reminded me of you. I was like, I see where it's coming from.
This is something that.
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Yeah, we all.
No, guys, this is something that a lot of modern day hip hoppers, and to be quite honest, in the last 20 fucking years, people don't do that Payday does, man. He actually enunciates and has a message.
And I appreciate that, Mr. Beer. I'm from the I landed in, Stetsasonic, KRS-One, Stetsasonic, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Cool J.
Run DMC later on.
To that stuff, I wasn't I wasn't, cognizant when Sugar Hill Gang and the Furious Five and Melly Mel. I saw Beat Street as a kid, but I didn't know what I was watching. With Melly Mel. Only 2 years later, I realized, that's that dude, Beat Street, the kid who had those conscious lyrics. And it was
check this out. I said earlier. I told Lee earlier. I was born before MTV came about. You know what I mean? I remember all that shit.
Creative power, man. They couldn't stop it, and it was just like the censorship was minimal because it was on the surface innocuous. But it was powerful when you listen to it.
Right.
When you can take snapshots of where you saw the control come in and the perversion and the absolute
it was in the 90s, man.
Generation and denigration of the whole thing. And
look at it now. Look at it now. You know what I'm saying? Look at hip hop now and tell me they didn't control that shit.
It's like sifting through a dumpster to find gems. Because there are gems out there. Why do you even want to? Just let them come to you.
Well, to be quite honest, hip hop
and the whole culture, not just hip hop, the whole thing is one.
It's sick, Thank you.
Reminds me of Chicago. Yep.
That's why I love you, Payday, man.
You let me hear more.
You speak the same thing that I was getting ready to say.
In the last year, wasn't that? I heard figures like 3,000. Murders.
No, 3,000 people have been shot and wounded, but I can tell you in the last year there's been at least 149 murders in Chicago, shot and murdered. The rest of the people that got
Chicago,
murdered
nobody. That's 1049.
I'll send you some stats.
It's the same thing with the blacks as with the Jews. They don't.
Well, they ship the crack in the Riots, right?
Blame with a certain extent. Look, when you have it's a black guy that shot this kid. Michael Brown broke, Darren, whatever his name was, occipital bone, and this whole Black Lives Matter lived on that lie. This dude, he strong-armed a fucking little, Filipino guy or whatever in a store for blunts. Because he spent his money on weed and didn't have enough to buy the blunt, so he had to take them, and that's how he did it.
Thank you.
And that thing is built on a lie, and it's a shame. And it's the media that they're the most. That's where the danger lies. I understand. I'm not infantilizing black people, but it's the same thing with boiling them on a hole with white people. What they've done, just different mechanism.
It's not a race issue. It's not a race issue. It is an attack. Yes, thank you. Continue.
Different angles. so eloquently, like with blacks, they get, they formed NAACP. Now keep in mind, they ran slavery. They were disproportionately running the slave ships. Like 9 out of 10 slave ships belonged to the Jews.
Oh, you study history? Oh, well, I haven't talked to anybody that ever studied history. I'm sorry. I have to write that down.
There wasn't a black president of the NAACP, which sounds like 1921 or whatever. Not till it took them almost 60 years before they had a black president. Yeah, it was founded by a couple Jewish lawyers. And ever since then, you see the black legitimacy rate just slope down.
Yeah, Chicago is a liberal. Chicago is a liberal gun control.
Isn't that part of what Barack Obama was intended to do, though? I mean, was to denigrate the black race, so we would never have another. It'd be 50 years before we ever get another black president again.
I'm just saying, Chicago is a liberal gun control experiment, and we're seeing it unfold. Anybody that wants to check out the stats, there's a website called HeyJackass.com. Type that in, and they'll give you all the stats, not only for this past 2016, but for the last 4 or 5 years. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Genocide rap is what's going on. Black pop in Chicago. That's what's going on. And it has to do with the culture, and it has to do with the government shipping in guns and everything else they ship into major cities. The crack, the cartels, the Mexican drug cartels, they're all working together. It's not a fucking conspiracy theory. This is reality. This is what's going on.
This is stuff that they've admitted to over the years.
And I need to smoke this shit before I go off.
I mean, fucking check. You don't have to check out what me and Dennis have been saying for 2 years. Check out what Payday's been saying on all his albums, man. Check out what Kent's been saying out there on the internet, man. Check out and Google us. Fact check us, please.
The Goyim known, yeah. This is what I'm all about. When I saw that, it was like an aha, eureka moment.
I make memes every day, Payday. You know what I'm saying? I make memes to piss people off. That's what I do. Just like your music. You listen. Check this out.
Power, right?
No.
Power.
I'm just saying, you don't make.
You got a point.
You don't make your music. I'm pretty sure you don't sit down and make your music to be like, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to piss anybody off. I need friends. You sit down and make music the way you know how to make music. The only way Payday Monsanto can make music, and you do it better than anybody else that I've ever heard in my entire life as far as being a hip-hop fan or anybody that does music. The only thing I can tell you is...
brother. I don't want to offend my grandma, so I do.
I know, your family and shit, you don't want to piss people off, but you don't...
I don't want to offend that person, but there becomes a point where, if you can't dig deeper into and see the value in what...
Yeah, so what did your family think about what you do? I mean, what did your family members tell you? Because I heard you on the show and you were like, oh, it's one thing for your family to tell you they love you, and it's another thing for somebody that just hears your music and tells you they love you. So these people really know you. So, I mean, what did your family tell you when they hear your music?
Well, it's not even really about that. It's like they're used to it, the music part, they know that. But as far as the content within, it's just like anyone conscious trying to talk. Sometimes, in lose family, you can not.
No, I played a song for yours. I played a song for you from my stepsister. You know what I'm saying? My sister is mixed. We have different dads. My sister is big into hip hop.
You've seen them come around after a year. I'm sorry, I missed that. Right?
No, I'm just saying. My sister is mixed. You know what I'm saying? We have different fathers. So my sister is, black and white. So I was like, check out this, and this is the first time I ever played it for her. I was like, just sit down in the living room, check it out. And she was like, checking it out for a few minutes, and she was like, where is he from? I was like, here we go. There goes the click. There goes the link. And it's the same thing when people first hear your music. Like I said earlier, in 2011, when I first heard it, I was like, why aren't more people making music like this?
Just what they hear exactly doing.
No, really.
I mean, how many songs do you have? What do they want?
Payday, dude, it really isn't which track that they hear. Every time they hear it, and as a long-haired white boy, Irishman, Scotsman,
I mean, how many songs do you have? Like 3,000 that are not finished? Or you're working on,
no, wait a minute. When I roll up in some place and I'm blasting, under control, or I'm laying down, there must be some mistake, or any of these great tracks that you fucking put out there every time. I get the same look from every single black person around me, and I'm sorry, you end up noticing that stuff, as a long-haired white boy in the country, you end up noticing that, but they give you that, they don't give me that look of hey, white boy, what the fuck is you doing around there? They're like,
that's not fine.
What are you bumping? What's going on over there? And every now and then you get the ballsy ones that'll come up and be like, what you got going on over there?
Like 2 in the morning. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
It's a great thing to be able to sit there. Dude, you don't know Payday Monsanto? Oh, I do not know what in the fuck is you are doing with your life, man, because by all means.
The first time I'm ever going to use this phrase and mean it. That warms the cockles of my fucking heart. I love to see that. There's no sarcasm in that. I'm 100%.
Oh, well, brother, dude, I love you, man. It is so awesome to have those interactions in reality with something that you've been able to put out, man.
Worship that they never get to talk to. I mean, we're not, we know each other. I'll just put it that way. And one day we're going to hang out. Best believe.
That's happening.
Whoever wants to be there, we're going to hang out.
Boys, I'm working for that fundage right now. All right?
Yeah, we're going to hang out. So, I mean, that's important. And in the March,
everybody still sounds like he's coming from the moon. This is classic material.
Well, I am the only human being on the planet Earth that has found a way past the Van Allen radiation belts, and so therefore I do broadcast from the moon. Payday has exposed my secret. The Albino Raccoon Studios are actually located on the moon. Lunar address to be determined. Thank you.
That's beautiful right there. You're right in the mic. I need to hear when you speak. I feel deprived when you say something and I don't fucking hear it. It makes me feel sad.
Yeah, speak up, Lee.
I'm trying, boys, man. Skype can only fuck me over so much.
Hey, are they going to cut us off anytime soon, or are we good to go?
We will get cut off in another 35 minutes, but if we really want to, we can nail down another 3 hours after this. So.
Cool. Yeah, definitely, man.
I actually lost your number in Friday Night Super Show, so this time there was no mistake. But
yeah, that's actually Lee Clear Skype.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, I do need to get with you tomorrow, man. What is your available hour times, man? Send me a private message or whatnot, and let me know what your available hours are, because there has to be a Payday Monsanto show.
Don't say nothing, man. Nobody needs to know about that.
There has to be.
That's a secret. I know. That's like the next album. You know what I'm saying? That's like the next album that we all know about, that is coming, but it's just between family. You can't really let everybody know about that.
Yeah, but there's one guy on the planet that I know.
I'm excited.
All right. That has so much more to say. And
there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of potential to change the landscape. And I think, not even just the music, but just those types of radio shows, just like tonight, talking to Payday, Trip in the first hour, whoever it is, nobody brings to the table what we do. We're the best at what we do. So, I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it.
Well,
I'm looking at where we all are on the map. It's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, think about it. Think about it, man. All these years ago when I was talking to you and we had you on the show on NWO Truth Radio, look at us now. I mean, in 2016, look at everything that's been done and, all the mountains we moved and accomplished. Not just you, but me and Lee Peer and everybody else involved in what we do. Like I said, I'm not going to take credit for introducing people to your music, but I can tell you I was a big influence. I was a big influence.
I really appreciate appreciate the love.
I hit the streets like Venom and Spider-Man. I was like just hitting motherfuckers with it. I was like, yeah, dang it. Get this shit. Take it out of my hands. You know? You know, I'm trying to eat people's brains and shit. Just getting your music out. So
everybody should be listening to Payday
That wasn't my
Monsanto
job,
music.
but that's what I set out to do, and that's what I'm still doing to this day. And I'm very honored, and I want to thank everybody involved in being a part of what we're doing.
You closer to Lynchburg or Richmond?
My sister lives in Richmond. You know, she's like an hour away from me. So,
Yeah,
hey, get this, man.
Cue me in, motherfucker, because
in my car.
I'm coming in a couple weeks. And
I can get in my
you
car
better be ready.
and go to Quantico military base in like 5 minutes. It's right in my backyard. So I'm a shit. I work for the FBI, everybody.
I've worked in there putting furniture together, you know.
All right, so you've been in Triangle, Virginia before, right?
I've been all over the place. I've worked in under the Pentagon, the FBI building. I've been in the CIA building. I've been in all those.
Basically, I'm in the belly of the beast, and I want to get out of here.
You are.
So I'm taking funds. I'm in Freemason Central here. I can't take it.
Hey,
I'm losing my mind.
Everybody one at a time, man.
They want me to sell out and join their secret societies and be Alex Jones and shit. I can't do it. I can't take it anymore. I'm losing my mind.
You know the really fun thing, kids, and Payday, Payday, I hope you're listening to this because we may have to just come and seek you out. Here in a couple weeks, the actual reality of Leap Here and Dennis Ford being in the same geographical location is going to happen. Yeah, and the more of us coming together and being a part of that same geographical location and talking with each other is going to happen even more, man. Even more.
November 5th, DC.
No, we're gonna.
I don't need a holiday to
big
fucking
warehouse, and we're all gonna like film improv, radio show, music,
it's happening.
whatever. We're gonna have all that shit in one compound. All right, that's the goal.
That's
like
the fun part about it, man.
Up, we're like, all right, it's time to get up, motherfuckers, get up.
Look, do we not all fight for the same thing? I mean, are we not all out there trying to speak up and say,
with the weather.
We've got Irma Gerd with the latest nerds. Yeah. Irma Gerd!
What's going on out there with those riots? Oh, those people are still in Jordans and rooting and they're rioting, looting, and taking liquor bottles. What's wrong with people? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand. I had $119 worth of liquor bottles in that shed, Bubbles.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna riot, we brought this up earlier. Not to put a Debbie Downer on everything we're talking about here. But if you're gonna riot and loot,
be brought up.
You may want to focus your energy on the particular people you're mad about, not Walmart or the liquor store. How hard is that to understand? And on top of that, who is organizing these riot groups? These dumb motherfuckers in the hood that listen to fucking shitty ass hip hop all day and don't give a fuck about nobody and can't even pull their fucking pants up. That is racist. Fuck you. I don't care.
There, man. George Soros, he gets involved in these
movements.
movements.
Because George Soros fucking funds Black Lives Matter. Which Black Lives Matter is, ladies and gentlemen, BLM, Black Lives Matter, is a psyop. It's something to distract you from what the government's BLM, the Bureau of Land Management, really kind of is. Yeah,
anyways,
and they fish you so easily.
I don't want to get into that.
It's ridiculous.
I don't even want to get into that whole aspect of it because we have some important people on the phone line and we don't have that much time to talk here tonight. So, we can talk about the future and what's coming. Like I said, I'm excited to see what's coming with future music or radio shows or whatever it is because I've been doing this for 5 years. Been putting, connecting dots and putting pieces on the puzzle that people didn't even know were there for a long time here. And so is Leap Here and everybody that does what we do on this show. Like I said, having Payday Monsanto calling the show it's not rare. It's just,
listen, brother.
It's a
win.
win.
I'm saying it's not rare. It's just, where are you really going to get them? Where are you going to get Payday calling the show when he's just chilling at his house and shit? And he's trying to call on the show.
Here's the thing, and I'm not one, I can't even go there because I'm not the best marketer or promoter of myself.
Yes, you
but
are.
You made yourself
I am. I can promote you pretty well.
Yeah, you do that wonderfully. Now, I want to promote you now. I want to make you easily accessible. Here's what I suggest. You got to bring back, no one I talk to has it, the stream. You know, you put it in your player. DLC or it used to be an MP3 player once upon a time.
Right.
Put the live link, you thing in your stream, so even if you close out your browser, the shit still plays. Sometimes if you minimize it, you can't even turn it off if you want to, which is a good thing if you're a radio person. Because that's what you want. You want to blast your message to people whether they want it or not.
I want to blast myself.
And you know, with this new Spreaker avenue that we're going across, and yes, I'm going to make the investment and get us some call lines.
That's great.
You sound great tonight, though.
But
I meant to tell you, Lee. Yeah, I meant to think I didn't realize what Spreaker it came up a lot, and I didn't realize they could do live broadcasts.
Yeah, it's. I didn't realize it that much.
Yeah, we can end this show and start another show if we want to.
Yeah, until I.
For quality, right? They're just like a repository site, right? But I know they're using high quality stereo.
Yeah, it's like SoundCloud for music. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just drop off your shows or do them live from.
Well, it's a big step up from what we were doing at Blog Talk Radio. You know, to be quite honest.
Or we can get on YouTube like Brandon Council is probably doing right now on his show. You know what I'm saying? And doing all the shit he does. So. I mean, it's all kinds of shit. Like
not to take away from Blog Talk or anything like that, but from everything that we've done on there, and boys, we've done no small amount of shows on that fucking British network.
No, we did like 300 shows
on this one, on the Last Voice for Liberty network. That's the only one that I can at least guarantee you can do and say whatever the fuck you want.
That's what I love about it. You know, I'm glad you went ahead and.
This is probably about the only free speech radio station that there is, because you talk free speech radio to people when you're pitching a show or what have you, but
we got thrown off the network because they were like, "Oh,
we pulled
don't want to go in that
off the
direction.
network.
We got to get rid of you." So
but it was us.
With all his first words and his dick and fart jokes didn't help either. So,
it was us that pulled us off the last network. Okay, it was a decision between.
Payday has worked on in the past.
Fuck. Do I have to start
that network is being rebuilt. It is on Blog Talk Radio, but we're trying to expand. But Lee is doing what I essentially told Lee to do 3 years ago. I was like, Lee, you gotta do your own thing. And here we are now. Like I said, here we are now. And we get exclusive music from Payday Monsanto, and nobody else is bringing that to the table. Unless you're on YouTube or you're checking out.
I've been holding shit out for you. So
yeah, just let me know. And
now you hold that out for the Payday Monsanto show, because that I think that has to happen, dude.
Steve thing with Steve Grant, that we didn't get to do that. I'm looking forward to that. Just let me know.
Yeah, and I've been giving them shit too. I was like, if you're gonna see, I'm probably the best person to promote your music, and at the same time, probably negative towards people that even get on tracks with you. Because earlier in the week, I was telling Steve and Benny, I was like, you gotta understand, this is a track with Payday Monsanto. This is not just some shit you did for your mixtape. You know what I'm saying? You gotta bring your A game to this.
Dude, now to be totally honest, dude.
I'm like, look,
in the track. Now wait a minute. In the track, Dark America.
I did say that's an interesting point though. But I did say like that show, where those guys were supposed to call in and we were supposed to just chop it up for a bit.
Yeah, the whole show was fucked up.
Yeah.
We have to reschedule that because I'm looking forward to it that much, So
yeah, but I might have offended at least Benny, but I know Steve. Me and Steve go way back. But you know what I'm saying? It's all love.
I doubt it.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to get the best out of people, and I know when I hear somebody featuring Payday Monsanto or Payday Monsanto comes across the song I'm listening to, I'm like, I already know what I'm getting. So if you're going to be on the track with Payday Monsanto, you might want to not necessarily step your game up, but you might want to bring your best game to the table, because I know who's going to have the best verse on the track, and that's not me hating or anything like that.
Payday as a drunken, long-haired rocker type of guy.
I already know that.
I can't say that he's wrong. It's Dude, you've got something that's powerful enough to turn goat piss into gasoline. And
I'm sure before Payday even called in the show here tonight, he was working on music. And I can vouch on that. I'm pretty sure he's been working on music today. And that's
I can only be a drunken fucking asshole critical
I'm just saying.
of any type of music.
When I talk to these artists, they're like, oh, I got a mixtape coming out in a few months. I'm like, well, that's great. I have all this music you haven't even heard.
You want to give them that boost, man, because hey, you never know if the next kid that's sending dude Dennis, you never know if the next kid that's sending you something is going to be the next Payday. You know, and that's what I hold out. That's the standard that I hold people to. If you can't be the next Payday, if you can't be the next, you know, that person that's reached out and grabbed people and said, hey, guess what?
It's the truth. Like, there's nobody coming close. Like I said, if you're naming underground artists, even hip-hop, all right,
there hasn't been anybody in hip-hop for the last 10 years that has measured up to what Payday has done.
Of all time. Not the last 20 years, but I'm talking about delivery.
No, Payday, just pull it out. Dicks out for Harambe because yours is getting sucked right now.
I appreciate the music, and I feel the energy in the music that he makes, and I can understand the time and effort that goes into the music. And he wouldn't be making music if he didn't think he was that good, and he is that fucking good. I'm here to let people know.
Well, you know, kids, as a musician, there's a reason I like the guy.
Good.
Just saying. Fuck.
Yeah, you ever been to Rockville, Maryland?
Yeah, I used to live in Gaithersburg, right up the street, or right down the street from it. Yeah.
I see crabs and shit in Maryland.
Rockville, Maryland. Yep, I used to small stomping ground.
Wow, really? How funny is that? Because I was just looking at the map. Because I'm trying to pinpoint Dennis's.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia, man. I'm right in the middle of Virginia, I-95.
And just so you know,
you take 270 down to 95 and whatnot, 495 or whatever, and then the 95, I guess, down there where you are in Virginia, there, Dennis.
Yeah, I'm right by Quantico military base. All you gotta do is type in Quantico military base.
It's about 3 or 4 weeks, and ladies and gentlemen, Leap here and Dennis Ford will be in the same geographical location. And yeah, I will have some money, so anybody wants to join the party, I hope you'll be there.
Money, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's that stupid piece of paper that people take for shit. Yeah,
that's another thing. I got to get in contact with a few people because apparently money is important. It does help people.
Money, the Ponzi scheme we all live by.
You know it.
No, I'm saying when it comes to like somebody making music on the level that Payday Monsanto does, you kind of have to give him money. You know what I'm saying? Not because you have to, just because it's that fucking good. It's just that lyrical content of music. You're not going to get that from any other artist. I don't care who you can't compare it to anything else. And we're lucky to have it.
You can get Payday Monsanto's music on Amazon. Am I wrong?
And think about all the shit that's going to come in next year that we haven't even heard yet. But then think about all the shit we've already heard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
The musician, I watched your YouTube video, and I think it was a couple of years ago. You was at some party, maybe in Pennsylvania. It was up on a big stage, and there's like a bunch of people out there.
Yeah, that's Brand One Angel.
Yeah, and you're the performers, and you had your sheets of lyrics with you. And I remember you saying, yeah, I'm not used to doing live shit, so I got to have some lyrics here now and again.
That's what I'm for.
Especially in rap, rocker, you can remember your lyrics in rock, but when you're rapping, you've got so many freaking lyrics. You know what I mean?
Especially when you're putting out boys, when you're putting out something that actually means something.
You know what I mean? When you don't know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm for. If there's ever a Payday Monsanto concert.
And the Fed video, I think, you know what I mean? And
Lollapalooza.
That was a fresh song at that point. I mean, that song was like 3 days old, I think, at that point. The video you're talking about.
Yeah,
But here's the thing.
Here's the thing, right? If they were like, yeah, I got this one, you know this one from so long, but you were like, you at the time, this was a couple years ago, you were like, yeah, I don't do a whole lot of live shit, so I got to have my, I have my notes right here. You made a little joke, but I mean, yeah, that's the truth, especially when you rap as hard as you do, bro. I mean, you got all those lyrics. You got to remember them from front to back. And that's what I'm saying, Kent. That's what I'm here for. If there's ever a live Payday Monsanto show, please make me the hype man, because people come to me and they say, hey, what was that line Payday said in the song? Lee Peter's done this a few times, and some other people have done it.
I'm
like,
working on it, boys.
In that song Payday said? And I'm like, here it is, bam, because I know all these lyrics, and that's.
You know it costs like over $40,000 to throw on a festival, right?
I'm just saying. I can help. I can fill that void.
I'm almost there.
I can do that.
I'm not going to bring Payday Monsanto to the goddamn depths of cornfield, USA.
It's Austin. Yeah, I'll send them to you. But every time he posts your videos, he decides to take a verse and write all the lyrics to it.
So am I coming through? Is it Austin Haddock?
Yeah.
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 Contact
him. Contact him.
Yeah. Well,
because we need the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? I want the lyrics.
No, you're right, Payday.
I need that in my life. That's great. So you say he writes down all my lyrics?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does.
And he wouldn't know about your music if it wasn't for me. I was the guy that introduced him.
He is pretty good at that.
Yeah. But again, I'm saying that the hardest part for me is to sing. When I do my singing, I mean, I do drumming, guitar playing, suck at guitar, can't even really play bass, and keyboard. I just write songs, but the hardest part for me is when I'm doing the singing is remembering the fucking lyrics, man. I mean, as many times as I do it, it's rock and roll. It's not like rap where there's just shitloads of lyrics. And that's my weakness. It's like, that's why I could never be a full-time rapper or hip-hop or whatever. Because just
well, I'm saying, I feel you.
Hey, go ahead, Payday.
I can't get into my. It takes you to get into your own head. After you've done something, you spent it, you put it out, it's produced, it's pressed, you got it. People, you can mess with them. Fuck it. Let's move on to the next thing. So it's like, you have to pick a certain one to remember.
But if you went to a bar and I was in a bar and I walked in and, Payday Monsanto was there, I was like, hey, yo, can you perform that one shit? You know what I'm saying? Can you go off top of your head and just fucking get on stage and do that?
That's it, my brother. If I didn't like the song personally, I probably couldn't do it.
But you have so many songs, I can't blame you for not remembering every single one. It's hard to remember all that, even when you play the song every day, unless you're doing it every single day.
Hang on.
Like
do you offer?
Like yesterday's news.
Wait a minute, Ken. Wait a minute.
Rap in hip hop because it's hard enough in rock. I can't imagine remembering all those lyrics. Like
but he doesn't just do rap music. He does a lot of other music as well. But yeah, go ahead, Lee.
But I'm just saying about the lyrics. There's a lot of them.
I know what you're saying. Go ahead, Lee.
Sometimes it's a nuisance to try to remember some lyrics.
I was I'm in really deep discussions about putting on the festival here in Iowa, and like I said,
well, the
45 fucking grand.
That's all you need.
Well, yeah,
that's all you need.
It was something that got brought up earlier today as far as the whole discussion on acts and what we really wanted to feature coming out of it. And yeah, dude, Payday as a headliner on one of those nights would not be bad.
Payday something while we got him on the line here, Lee.
It hasn't tested wrong amongst people who don't know Payday, and that's something that I keep trying to push each and every day. You don't know? Do you know Payday Monsanto? Oh, you don't know Diesel. You don't know Corporate Adventure. You don't know.
Because Payday's going to have to change his name because Monsanto signed with Bear. So what is it? Payday Bear now? You call him Payday Bear? Monsanto.
That's fucking funny.
Well, yeah, because they're not Monsanto anymore.
I'm going to transform this into. I'm rebranding myself, and I
want a remix of 6.5 trillion. What
But
can
no,
I get
you know,
with
we're
6.5
going to
trillion?
make Monsanto the demon that it is, you know, with my rebranding. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to show what my intent from the onset was. You know, we're going to show Monsanto to be the deplorable entity that it is. And before, you know, and after, it can change names and try to morph into something, you know, to exonerate itself. That's what they do.
$66 billion, payday. $66 billion. And here's another thing: the Pentagon lost 6.5 trillion, you know, a month ago. So
Plus
I mean, maybe that was to
2.3.
buy Monsanto, you know, and some other shit.
Yeah.
Now that's just all in their pockets. Trust me.
Well, you know,
Monsanto will
6.5
just,
trillion.
Monsanto will just be subsumed, and then just, it could be very well.
Yeah, it's like a venom.
They might not change their name, but just minimize the, you know, the visibility of them.
Come
Monsanto
on,
will
boys.
just be consumed and subsumed into corporate abyss.
Yeah, by a big pharma industry. That's selling synthetic heroin and killing motherfuckers every fucking day.
You guys know why why Bayer bought them out and what this whole thing is going on. It's just to wipe the Monsanto name away.
Right.
They want to give something that for over 50 years people have trusted that name, Bayer. They're like, oh, I got a headache and blee. What was it, 14, 15 years ago? Then all of a sudden they decided that taking aspirin is good for your heart attacks, man. And what was the aspirin name that they pimped? Bayer.
Hemophiliac drug. You know, they sold it to, where did they sell it to in Eastern Europe, you know? To hemophiliac. Tainted.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like aspirin can control bleeding, just so you people know.
No, I want to say something real quick too. The shit that's going on in Chicago and all the major cities in this country is the influx of heroin that the United States government has been, you know, they took over that trade in Afghanistan after, you know, when the war on terror kicked off. And you can listen to Payday Monsanto's music; he'll tell you about this. But that's why motherfuckers are killing each other, because the money is so good right now. People are addicted to heroin. And what was that shit with Cranham? You know, they just banned that shit, right?
Yep.
Wasn't that not too long ago?
Schedule 1, right? They're going to make Batam Schedule 1 right up there with
whatever. However you pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about. But they want you to take oxycodone and
release the
heroin off the street.
Suboxone, every kind of own that they can fucking, I mean, there you go, own, whether it's O-N-E or...
That's what I'm saying. That's why motherfuckers are killing each other, because the money is so good. They're like, that's my street corner, and if you on my street corner making money, and that's stealing money from me, I'm going to kill you and take your spot, and this is what's going on. Divide and conquer. Yep.
It's nature.
That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead, Payday.
Right, and everything else that Big Pharma wants to sell you, and now Big Pharma is in the bed with Monsanto. Like, this is...
Big Pharma's always been in the fucking bed with Monsanto, man.
I know,
it's been
like
that
public knowledge now. It's like bad.
It's been that multi-tentacled fucking attack that they always keep putting on us, because if they attack us on one aspect, then we're going to look to the other aspects and think that it's great. If they attack us on multiple aspects, then all of a sudden we're going to sit back and go, oh, wait, what should we do? It's called confusionary tactics, kids.
This is a travesty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it truly is.
A distortion of reality.
I'm just saying, it's like a spider web. Everything is well connected, and I'm not telling anybody on this phone line anything they don't already know. But
you're telling the listeners that are listening here in the last few minutes of our show, man, that, yeah.
You were there, bigot.
There's a reason why Dennis Ford and myself get on the air every week. There's a reason why Payday Monsanto continuously makes music. There's a reason why Spent Ken gets on the onlines and pisses people off. There's a reason we keep doing this. It's not for our own inflated egos. Because, for Christ's sakes, man, our dicks are big enough. We do satisfy people on our own. It's the fact that there's a future to be fought for. There's a reality that the rest of us just seem to willy-nilly just pass on by. But guess what? That's the future for not only my kids, your kids, Payday's kids, Dennis's kids if he ever decides to have some, my grandchildren, for Christ's sakes, man. There is the future that we're fighting for. If there's some sort of egotistical boosting fact that
culture, I love that.
Listen, man. If there's some egotistical thing that was actually pushing us beyond this, then by all means, I would absolutely sit here and go, guess what? The two most egotistical bastards in talk radio, Lee Peer and Dennis Ford. But we ain't, because we hate all of you. Okay? It's not like what. All right. We are really trying to do this because we care, but we really do hate you people, because for fuck's sakes, man, you are shooting us in the foot each and every time that we get on the air. Each and every time that we put something out there, somebody is trying to shoot us in the foot, and it's usually you people that we're trying to fight for.
No, I mean, you guys can hear me, right? I'm live, right? You can hear me?
No, I'm just talking above you because I'm that much of a dick.
All I'm trying to say is that, like I said, the path that I set out to do what I decided to do, 5 years ago, I've been able to do, and that's thanks to Payday Monsanto, and thanks to Lee Peer, and thanks to Austin Thomas, and a lot of other people involved in what we do. But at the end of the day, where are you really going to get anything that we bring to the table anywhere else? Nowhere. This is the only place you're going to get it. And like I said, it is a competition, because when it comes to hip-hop music, there's one person I know that's pretty good at doing hip-hop music. And then when it comes to underground truth music, this is why certain artists that are big names that have concerts all the time won't work with Payday Monsanto, because they've already heard his music a long time ago, and they're like, yeah, fuck that. Not working with that guy, because he might embarrass you. And on top of that, he might destroy your whole fucking career and where you get your check from. He's been blackballed.
Then again, kids, he may just be that one that sets your whole festival or your whole concert up over the edge, man.
He can hit the mainstream.
That doesn't inflate my ego. You have to let me say something after that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
At the same, I mean, I can see how that someone, because I get that from time to time. You know what I mean? And Dennis Ford is the ultimate purveyor and pusher, and respect due to that, like a one-man street team, digital street team.
Say word.
That's what Dennis Ford is. And just a friend as well, But with that said, I don't take that approach. That some people feel that way, but I don't think my girl just said it to me today. The love of my life, she's standing right here, looking at me, all funny.
Cheers.
Like you embarrassed to get on the track because everyone to fuck with you. And I'm like,
but you wrote a song for her, my brother. You wrote a song for her that's on the album. I mean, that song is not even about political shit at all. It's just
hang on there, brother. Let's let him get his piece out, man.
I think I got what Payday's saying here, though, too.
Hang on there, guys. Let's let him get his piece out, man. Payday, go ahead, buddy.
With Steve Brown and PTP is a fucking banger, man, and everybody brought their A game, as people said. So I don't want to let that kind of like spill over into like the latest thing that I did. If my girl hasn't even heard it yet, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel that song was a banger 360 around, and I loved it, and I'm happy to participate.
Well, here's the thing, right?
With the number one club.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? You're standing too close, man. You're too close, Wycliffe. Here's the thing, though. Even if you get on the track, I'm not talking about you making your own music, an album or something like that. But if you're a feature, let's just say this track that recently came out, with Steve Grant and everybody. Even if you bring your B game, it's still going to be better than what they bring. And that's not being mean or being egotistical as an aspect when it comes to what you do as music. I'm just letting people know, if you're going to be on a track with this individual, you need to really sit down and study. Because it only takes him 20, 35 minutes to make up a verse. And it's going to take you probably a week to get where you need to be to even be able to make a verse.
To be fair, a lot of these boys that are out there, man, that they can do what Payday does. They just can't put it the way Payday does. You know?
It's 15 years in the making, and a lot of people haven't even been rapping for 15 years.
Dude, there's a difference between playing music, and there's also a difference between presentation. And what Payday brings to the table, dude, is he brings that presentation. He's got that voice, all right? That little piece of man. I want to hear what this motherfucker's saying, just because. I mean, dude, you can't everybody do it, all right? And yes, Payday, I'm proverbially sucking your penis right now. But
the only thing I'm waiting on is a Payday and Diesel track, or maybe Payday and K Reno track. That's really
to be quite honest. It really doesn't matter to me what who or anybody. Every time Payday is putting something out there, man, it's actually saying something. There are meanings behind what he does.
If you can plug real quick where people can maybe send you a PayPal or something. Can you hear me? I'd say eventually it might be a...
Yeah, we got to end this show here in about another 90 seconds, kids.
No, I'm just saying, if you can let people know where they can go purchase the album. I know it's not up on certain links or whatever right now, but if you have a PayPal or something where people can send you some money and get the album, please do that, because...
Yes, please. We have less than 90 seconds here. Payday, pimp the album, man. It's got to be pimped.
Go to CD Baby. It's cheaper. You can get it on iTunes as well. Murder by Numbers, Payday Monsanto. But on CD Baby, it's cheaper. And you'll be supporting me directly.
There we go.
The Payday Monsanto Foundation.
Yeah, let's get some T-shirts made, too, before we get off the air here tonight. You know, some...
I'm working on that, man. Come on. I can only do so many things at once, kids, all right? I am working on it.
All right, we'll work on that. But, yeah. Hey, man, me and you got to keep in touch, bro, all right?
For sure, man. I love everybody. Thank you, everyone who's been a part of this show tonight, man. It's the Friday Night Super Show where all the big boys want to come and play and be a part of it, man. We've had Payday Monsanto, Spent Can, Trip Hugh. Everybody's been a part of this show tonight, man. It's a great thing. That's why we keep on doing what we're doing. You keep on doing what you're doing. Be that last voice for liberty. Check out Payday Monsanto there on Amazon. Man, get wherever you can, get them messages out. I'm the mouth, and we out.